Yo, what's going on? Y'all know what it is. Y'all down with the Kings. What's good with y'all? Rio, Rico, Ed, and myself make up the Commanders Kings. Most important week of the season.
Yes, sir.
We go into the offs. We go into the offs. We go into the offs.
We here, baby.
Yes, sir. And we were talking backstage about just how uncomfortable we are with how comfortable everybody is with picking us this week. It's crazy.
It's a new
how
world.
confident we are as fans, but people watching this Commanders team is confident in this team. And we all know why, right? But before we get to the playoff game, there was a regular season finale.
The Lord, do we got to talk about it? Do we got to talk about that damn game, man?
There was a game on Sunday. Hey, we won, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that. That happened.
We won, and Terry did break the record.
He sure
right?
did. Congratulations.
After that, I don't think there was a lot that you could be really overly excited about. But
there was nothing.
We beat Dallas. And I told everybody that would listen, I said, hey, we have a Dallas problem. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, we could have that in the offseason, but we definitely have a Dallas. But them boys got us sized up down there in Texas.
We have a Texas-sized problem indeed. But how excited were you guys to see Terry break the record in the fashion? That last drive was pretty much all Terry McLaurin.
It was all Terry McLaurin. It was all Marcus Mariota. And the whole combination of that drive is the epitome of this season. This is the most Washington shit you've ever seen. Like the final game of the year, we're trying to punch our ticket to secure the 6th seed. We pulled the starting quarterback early and said, it's your world, Marcus. And he's driving us down the field, just like the moment versus the Chicago Bears where Tyreek Stevenson was celebrating too soon on Marcus Mariota's 4th down read option carry. He got his left hand up, ready to say, who are we? Wow. And then we get down there with the time. Like, I'm sitting here reacting in the moment like, whatever, just kick the field goal, let's go to overtime. There's 6 seconds left. Marcus Mariota from the 11-yard line throws the most perfect back pylon fade to Terry McLaurin, whose hands decided to work on the final drive of the game after some drops.
Hey, you ain't gonna be coming for Terry hands like that.
Hey, body catch bandit was letting them things fall off his fingertips on Sunday, but his hands worked on the final drive of the game. He goes and gets the record on the last offensive play of the season, just like we had to fight to get him 1,000 last year in EB's trash-ass offense. We had to fight to get that boy to that record-setting 13th touchdown of the season. I hate that he fell under 1,100 yards, but we got bigger fish to fry. That drive was exciting. There is not too much more about that game Sunday to be excited about. I'll let somebody else take it from there.
Oh yeah, the Malik Hooker putting his hand up was hilarious. Hell of a play call, and Mariota, it looked like he shot out a cannon on that one. So he was balling. Terry, that was a huge play. He called game on that one. Like you said, Rio, he was struggling that first half. Him and Jaden, they haven't been able to connect for whatever. I mean, they connected in the Eagles game on the fake Guantanamo Bay, but they've been off, man. The Falcons game, they were off, so they got to clear that up in this game against the Buccaneers for sure. But no, it was ugly as possible. I mean, we let Trey Lance walk us down on the first drive. Trey Lance missed a 4th and goal to a guy who was wide open. So, I mean, if Trey Lance had any competency, they would have won that game. Cooper Rush possibly would have won that game too, but Jerry Jones, it's an evil world we live in. Jerry Jones did Cooper Rush dirty, didn't want to give him that incentive money. It is what it is.
$500K.
Yeah, over 500.
Hey, they need every single dollar they can get out and down.
Right. That's how dirty Jerry is. But that's the thing. And I said in my video, I was like, looking at the Cowboys right now, you look at dysfunction, and that's what we're not. That's what we used to be. We used to be dysfunctional like that. You look at them and you see the dysfunction from the ownership and top down, from him, his son, Stephen Jones, and everybody. That's what we're looking at.
He can act, though. So that boy Jay Jones can act, though, man. That boy was doing that little road.
Right. I'm telling you, and going on the radio and mouthing off and whatnot. But no, I mean, yeah, Mariota looked good. Terry stepped up. Zach Ertz got his touchdown. And then some guys are getting healthy, so that's the best part right now. Like Marshawn and Biotish, we got good news on those guys. But from the game, you just get in Dallas, you get out, you get the 12 win. Terry gets the record, and that's just the way you look at it. Ugly Oz with a terrible drop, but he stepped up. Like Diambi threw a dime.
We back to calling him Oz again.
I mean, OZ, you know.
No. You good? You right.
After that drop, his name is Oz, and our running back
I ain't
name is
Brian. I ain't gonna let y'all do my man OZ like that. I can't let y'all do my man.
You for sure right, Ed. Oz it is.
He sold the best play call of the season, bro. He's Oz.
Nah, man, that's the whitest thing ever, right there. The whitest mistake ever.
It was so crazy about that play. If it were Luke McCaffrey, the former quarterback, throwing it to Diambi, it would have worked so well. It would have went exactly how Cliff Kingsbury envisioned it too. Just the two wrong players, I guess. Yeah.
Speaking of Luke too, Luke got in the way of Crowder. Like we were just doing dumb stuff. We couldn't get out. We couldn't get out of our own way in the first half.
Man.
But yeah, and then they sat Jaden leg soreness, so he should be fine. So I think that was the right decision too. Just get him up out of there because. You know, I think they were scoreboard watching a little bit because the Bears were up at that time, and then the Packers went up, and then it's hard to explain. I think they were scoreboard watching a little bit, but at the same time, they were like, just go out there and win it. So, went in there, got the dub. We would have got the 6th seed anyway. But of course, you want to get the dub in Dallas. Last thing you want to do is get swept by Trey and lose to Trey Lance.
Nasty to have on your jacket.
Yeah, that Terry McLaurin ending, I mean, Disney couldn't have written it better than that. Like, I feel like if we would have blown them out, we would have been more confident about our chances going into the playoffs. But, like, that moment, like, you know, future Hall of Fame ballot, we're running through his highlights, that's going to be, like, the main one to break the franchise record. Yep. The way that he did it, I mean, literally just threw it up there and just gave him a chance. Like, you know, and we've been begging quarterbacks to do that. We finally have two quarterbacks that are willing to do it on the roster at the same time. We've had years when not even one was willing to throw it up to him. But, I mean, for him to literally go up there and take it, especially with the drops that he was having, not on that drive specifically, but, you know, previously in the game, I mean, that was as magical as it gets. And then even on top of the fact that he now has the franchise record for 13 receiving touchdowns in a season. He's also really familiar with a number with the same number 13 in a way that he's had 13 quarterbacks throw passes to him as well. So I just felt like that number was perfect. I mean, granted, if he would have hit like 15, that would have been great too. But I feel like that was the perfect number to solidify what he's been through and where he is now with his franchise quarterback. I mean, his backup quarterback is better than a lot of the starters we've had in recent years. Yes, sir. And I mean, yeah, allowing with Trey Lance to do what he did, that definitely concerns me moving forward. But I just feel like they were out there kind of, I mean, I know we're going to get into it, but I don't feel like they were really giving it their all. Like, Frankie Louisville was our honorary crash out. We know when in doubt, Frankie Louisville going to run around and hit somebody. There was some times where he was kind of arm tackling, like, let me just throw an arm out there. And, like, you could just tell they kind of didn't want to get themselves hurt in that game. So that's what it felt like. And I just also feel like, if we play 2 halves of football, the first 2/3 of the season, we were a great first half team. Lately, we've been a great second half team. If we can play a full 4 quarters like that, we could beat anybody. But at the same time, we could also lose to anybody with the way that we've been playing other halves. So we're like a weird team of it doesn't matter who our opponent is. It's an interesting matchup. And I hope we come with our best game moving forward. Jaden Daniels be okay. It looks like everybody's getting healthy at the right time. I'm excited.
This was a weird game because you could tell the human element was definitely involved here, where last week felt like a playoff game. Jaden said, yo, this is low-key, rocking. The stadium low-key rocking, right? Like, yo, this is crazy. And it felt like a playoff game, Sunday Night Football, all of the above. And you win, you clinch the, playoff spot, and you got the 6th seed, and, you're playing for that against Dallas, but it's Dallas against a 7-9 team with Trey Lance starting. Like, you go from last week's, crescendo to, hey, let's find a way to go out here and beat Dallas. And you could tell guys were dropping passes, kind of going through the motions. It looked like a team that just wanted to find a way to get through this game with a win, but the effort wasn't there. Especially
it felt like preseason week 1.
Absolutely, it felt like a preseason.
Yep.
Especially with Jaden not playing the second half, right?
Yep.
But I was all in favor of them sitting him down because Dallas was getting after his ass.
Micah Parsons was going crazy.
I mean, the man needed a half a sack to get to 10, and they let him get one-on-one
with Brandon Coleman, right?
No,
it wasn't Coleman. It wasn't Coleman.
It was the center.
The center, Dieter. When they stunted him, they stunted.
They let him get one-on-one with Michael Dieter. I'm like, are y'all kidding me right now?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Like, y'all serious? Yeah, we really doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I see what type of time we on. Before we move on, I was happy to see Marcus have that moment. He just had a son, so I know that was a big thing for him. I was happy for Terry to do what he did, get the record, because we've been kind of really caping for him to get that record. How did y'all think Austin Eckler looked in his first game back since the concussion?
I didn't really think much of any of our running backs, but Austin Eckler looks healthy. At least he looked spry. We didn't get anything from any of the running back, so it's very hard. And we're picking tooth and nail to try to find something out of any of the backs. But seeing him back, because we're gonna need an Austin Eckler type of game on Sunday versus an aggressive defense. I'm just glad to see him back on the football field.
Thought he caught it well. They used him in the pass game, threw a slant to him, threw a little receiver screen to him as well. So it was good to see him out there. And I thought he ran with some conviction. I thought he looked like he had been off for a month. I'll say that. He looked fresher than everybody else.
Yeah, he looked healthy, but he also looked. I think it was that one play where maybe he was confused and Jaden Daniels ended up having to keep.
That was the first play he got in.
Yeah. But it's just like, you got to shake the rust off a little bit. I think he's going to be great moving forward for us on the Buccaneers. I'm not sure if we want to throw him back at their special teams because last time he kick return, that's how he got hurt. He was our best kick returner. I would argue he was a top 5, top 7 kick returner when healthy, like on an efficiency level. But yeah, it may not be worth it to play him there. But like offensively, we used him sparingly. He didn't play a lot, but when he did, he mattered. Like you could feel his presence on the field. He was a little confused at first, and then once he kind of got into the groove, he's going to be something serious that the Buccaneers got to deal with, whoever we play next.
Yeah, he I like that Rico at the end, but I thought he had 2 nice catches. He got the first down, and I thought he had limited snaps, but I thought he played pretty well. But I'll just take a look at the workouts too. They're not comfortable with the running back room. I know you're not going to sign anybody and make an impact in the playoffs, but the fact that they're working out Anthony McFarland, who went to Maryland, who had a really good college career, was a 4th-round pick. They brought in Demetric Felton, who was like a rising Senior Bowl star coming out of UCLA. So it kind of shows they're not comfortable with the running back room. Like I said, it's not going to make an impact in the playoffs, but clearly they're not happy with what they're getting. And it's too much pressure on the quarterbacks. Like you look at Mariota had to come in and do what Jaden's doing. He had to run for like 50, 60 yards just to get a run game going. So against Tampa Bay, who's a tough defense, Todd Bowles, their identity is stopping the run. That's what they do ever since Todd Bowles has been there. They've been a top 5 run defense. So it's looking like it's going to be that kind of game again where Jaden's going to have to put the cape on. I know I'm going off of Eckler, but it all kind of just ties in with the running back room in general. But to answer the question, I like what he did, just bring that dynamic of catching the ball out the backfield.
Was there any player that stood out to you in this game where you went, okay, we need that moving forward? Was there anybody?
Mikey Sanders still.
Yeah.
He's one of them. Mikey Sanders still, he flashed a lot. Like, I see he attacks the football as well as anyone on the team. He also, I think it's a good trait to have that he always knows where the ball is at and finds the football. We're not taking it away too much yet, but he knows where the ball is at and he flies to it. So that's one for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mike Sanders still is probably the number one answer. Just to add another one, I mean, Jamison Crowder, when he doesn't have his own player running into him, he had one really good return. And I think, being able to flip some field position is going to be huge, man. Playoff games, y'all, we all know them margins are real small, man. And one good Jamison Crowder return could be a difference in the game. So we're going to need him to keep that going as well.
Anybody for you, Ed?
I know you guys picked everybody for the most part. Mikey had a great game. He's in the Rookie of the Week running. He's not going to get it, but just the fact that he's in the running is cool.
I'd be weak if Jaden won it again.
Yeah, he was a nominee, but sleeper stat, like Mikey Sanders still almost had 100 tackles this year. That's absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He had 93 tackles as a corner. Like,
That's
what?
I've
never heard of anything like that before. Yeah,
it's crazy he had to do that. But no, I would say second half Terry, because we're not going to win this game on Sunday if Terry doesn't go. In my opinion, Terry's got to get at least 6-7 catches. Like he's got to do it. And the Bucs, they give up a lot of passing yards. So I think second, because first half Terry, yeah, he was lunching, man. He was dropping passes, and him and Jaden, that connection, whatever's going on, they got to get it back together. But I would say second half Terry for sure.
Off the bye, we ain't seen Terry and Jaden have a connection yet. Like, they had a touchdown versus the Eagles, but it wasn't much Terry happened in that game. We remember the 1,000 deep balls we took in New Orleans that we didn't connect on. Terry had one catch for 5 yards versus the Falcons, and it took the final drive of the game to get Terry that record and to get him active. Since the bye week, I don't know what happened during the bye, but we got to get 5 to 7's connection going again.
Yeah, for sure. De'Ami Brown is the one for me. De'Ami was doing everything in the first half of this game, and it was a sight for sore eyes to see him back out there, because when he strained the hammy against Philadelphia, we weren't sure when he was going to come back. We thought he was going to be on that Marshawn Lattimore plan, right? Like, we'll see you for the playoffs, bro. And for him to come back in week 18, only really missed one game, come back and play in week 18 and play the way that he did, especially in the first half. I thought he was phenomenal. Like, he is the compliment right now. Like, obviously you're looking to upgrade the receiver position, but right now he is the compliment, the best compliment to Terry that we have. He's the only guy that can stretch the field vertically. He's the best wide receiver screen guy that we have. So if we're looking for some cheap yards, he's the guy we do. He's the best jet sweep guy. So when we try to go jet sweep or anything like that, De'Ami is usually the guy that's going to get the ball. He caught it in every one of those scenarios on Sunday against Dallas, and he threw the bitch, right? And it should have been a touchdown. It was a beautiful. I didn't even know he was left-handed, right? I didn't even know he was left-handed.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I only knew because of his off-season movies, because he be doing that.
I do remember the movie. I don't remember him throwing the ball, but now that you say that, I think he did throw it a couple times.
To even add to that too, with him being our best screen receiver, like the one that carrying the ball, he's also one of our better blockers. So it's like a weird scenario. Like, do you want him to block, or do you want him to be the one with the ball? I prefer him to have the ball, but he's also really good at blocking on the outside as well.
A lot of hats. He low-key wears a lot of hats.
He does. He does. And he was open on that corner route.
Blocking for De'Ami would be hit.
And Jaden missed him. underthrew him.
Oh yeah, he underthrew him. He had him on that deep corner. So De'Ami, I thought was special in this game, despite not having the numbers to suggest it. If you watched, you understood the type of impact that he could have moving forward. So he was the guy that stood out for me. Like, we need him moving forward, opposite of Terry, for sure. So enough of that game. We took care of business. We got the win. We snapped the 3-game losing streak against Dallas. This is a crazy stat. First time we've beat Dallas, Philadelphia, and the Giants in the same season since, y'all take a guess. Oh, the last time we beat all three.
Well, everything
we didn't in 2020, so it's not that year. Is it 2015?
What you say, Ed?
Beating the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys. Yeah, it probably is that 2015 season.
Rico.
Maybe Terry McLaurin's rookie season. Maybe I don't remember.
19. We only won like 3.
Oh yeah, we won 3 games that year.
Yeah. Never mind. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yes, it was 2015. 2015 was the last time we beat all 3 teams. Like, that's nasty, bro. That's some nasty work. I just want y'all to understand.
That's a decade. That's a decade.
Hey, that is nasty work. And in true Rio fashion, the last playoff win turns a dub this weekend. Right? Like, it's some nasty stuff at work right now that we got to make sure we knock down. So,
and we have to make sure we point this out because there are fans for other teams that don't understand just how nasty it's been here.
Oh, yeah.
So when we say these things as a retrospective of how bad it's been being a fan of this team.
Yeah. It's been amazing this season. Watching all of these milestones and knocking down these, droughts one by one, and we have an opportunity to do another one this weekend. So now we transition to this playoff game. And before we get to the opponent, the Buccaneers, did you guys have a preference between the Eagles, the Bucs, or the Rams? Did y'all have a preference?
I think my preference was always the Rams, but I was kind of like either or. It's like I can find pros and cons to either of those, I was trying to, like, I don't care how it sounds. I would rather not go to Philly in round one. If we're going to see them, I will see them later. I would rather us in a 12-win season in year one of the startup to go to Tampa, a team we saw week one, or the LA Rams, two teams I think we match up really well against. So mine was the Rams, but I didn't mind Tampa.
Rico.
Yeah, for me, it's like a blend because, like, LA Jaden Daniels going back home for a rookie quarterback to, first of all, make the playoffs, and then your playoff debut in your career is back at home in front of your family, your close friends, and everything. That would have been beautiful. And we could also turn that stadium into a home game for us at the same time. But like X's and O's, team matchup wise, I feel like the Buccaneers are the team that you have a better chance of beating. I mean, one receiver versus two, especially with Chris Godwin hurt. They have a lot of injuries as well. Yeah, true. That is true.
But yeah, I get Godwin killed it the first time.
McMillan was killing us too. Literally, he should have had more because remember we had a couple deep balls to him that should have been touchdowns.
That's right. The first possession, he should have had a touchdown. He was wide open.
He forced a double penalty on Forbes.
Yeah, he did.
The rare double whammy penalty.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
That boy, we always knew he was going to be great at something, man.
Hey, man, he had to blaze a trail in some way, right?
Hey, you stupid, Rico.
But yeah, I think Rams for off the field and like the whole theatrics of everything, but on the field, team roster wise, I feel like the Buccaneers give us a better chance on moving on next, even though don't sleep on them. But I mean, the NFC South wasn't really that good.
Yeah. Ed, you had a preference?
It was the Buccaneers for me. At first, it was the Rams, but then it was the Bucs. I think Chris Godwin is a huge piece that they're missing. I know Jalen McMillan's had a great season. Kate Otton's a good tight end, but I just feel like if you can really take away Mike Evans, it says Marshawn is going to play because he's super hyped for this game and super hyped for the matchup, the rivalry and all that, the fighting and all that stuff. So he's definitely going to play. I just feel like if you can take him away, that's a big part. Bucky's good too. And I just like we got pressure on Baker. We just couldn't wrap up. John Allen couldn't tackle.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I ain't seen pressure since like the Titans game, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. The Saints game in the first half.
Oh, yeah. While the model was in the game, we was getting active.
Yeah. We was getting active on him. And then second half, Spencer Rattler came in, and we ain't seen pressure since, pretty much.
Nope.
Right. So I just feel like you can get pressure on it. I think offensively, we're not going to be – the running backs, I feel like we're not going to be able to run the ball. But I just feel like Jaden with his legs is going to be very, very impactful. Like, because he was doing whatever he wanted in that first half. He was running wherever he wanted to in that first half against the Bucs. So I think a similar thing could happen. And you can throw the ball in the Bucs too, like because Todd Bowles likes to blitz a lot. So there's going to be guys open. So Jaden he's just got to hang in there and find guys, which I think he will be. So I just feel like it's a very close matchup, and I feel like if we can get to Baker and get pressure on him, I just feel like it was a favorable matchup. Didn't really want to go to Philly just because of that home field advantage that they got. That's an actual home field advantage. Same thing with the Rams. We would have been able to take over the stadium. I feel like we can take over Tampa too because just the city, like I'm not going to, dump on their fans or nothing, but it's not like a strong NFC East fan base. It's not like a Steelers or a strong fan base. And we played Tampa before, like when we played them with Fitzpatrick where he threw 5 picks, we took over their stadium. I feel like we've taken over their stadium in the past many times. So I feel like there can be a legit impact of Commanders fans down there for sure.
Are we taking it over?
Have y'all seen Baker's stats from this year?
Oh my God, he went crazy. He
went
dummy.
I just want to know if y'all have seen this man's stats this year, because this dude
he's mad because he didn't make the Pro Bowl.
I'm about to say I'm not gonna hold you, Jaden, in the Pro Bowl because we voted our ass off. Yo. Baker has 40 touchdowns,
41 touchdown passes. Now he does have 16 interceptions. That's the one thing if you're gonna nitpick, but the man got 41 touchdown passes and 4,500 yards passing, bro.
Mercy.
Like, what are we talking about here, man?
He's back.
All the while completing 71% of his passes this season.
That's absurd.
71.4%. Like, Baker had himself a year this year.
That's that number one overall Baker Mayfield that the Browns drafted right there.
Facts. And so I myself wanted the Rams. And I thought Rio put it perfectly. You could make a case for both sides, right? You could convince yourself, well, you don't want to face the two receivers instead of one. We don't have two corners, right? Even though I think Mikey is really solid.
He's coming along.
You don't two corners, right, to deal with the two receivers. And Stafford's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and if we can't get pressure, he can carve you up too. But I know Stafford ain't going nowhere, right? I know where to find him. I know his address. Baker is slippery. He moves. We couldn't get him the first game, and we weren't alone. We're not the only team that had trouble sacking Baker Mayfield. Like, this dude is a wizard back there in terms of getting away, extending the play. Yeah, he's gonna give you one or two a game that you can get your hands on and maybe make something happen with. But if you gave me a choice between the two, I would have been taking the Rams. But here it is. Buccaneers, over the last 25 years, we haven't played a team in the postseason more than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have a lot of history with them in the postseason. In 2000, which was the year that I thought, the last real year I thought we could make it to the Super Bowl.
It was damn close. It was a field goal snap away.
Yeah, facts. I mean, everything, there was so many things that transpired in that game, but a good snap and hold, and I think Brett Conway makes that kick, and we go to the Rams. Greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf, and we had a shot. Our offense was crazy that year. Yeah.
We would have had a shot, and so we lose that game. We get a little get back in 05. You know, when I think we still own the record for winning a road playoff game with the least amount of yards.
Gained like 40 yards passing that game.
It was bad. It was all bad.
Wasn't it really like 41 passing yards Brunel had that day?
Literally like 41. I think we had 109 total yards of offense in that game. Some craziness like that.
Thank God for Sean Taylor, man. Sean Taylor, man. Thank God for
him. So we got some get back then. We played him obviously in 2020 with Tom Brady. And everybody thought Heineke almost he didn't.
Heineke
almost beat Tom Brady. No, he didn't, but it was fun, right?
He made it very fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And then now we play him for the fourth time in 25 years. So a lot of history. And again, as we said earlier in the show, last time we won a playoff game, coincidentally enough, 2005, on the road at Raymond James Stadium against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So perfect symmetry, full circle. This, DQ was pissed too. Like the one game you could tell that gets under his skin the most is week 1. Because we got our ass whooped in week 1.
Yeah, we got waxed. That's the only opponent that I see people trying to shoot us bail for that one. I mean, we scored 20. No, we did. We scored a garbage time touchdown to get us the 20 point. Bro, we was getting shellacked 37-13.
Yeah.
The game started as a disaster. Y'all remember the first snap of offense of the season? Jaden threw a screen pass to the hog farmers.
Yeah. he turned that ball loose. And this is when we realized, there's a lot of nervous energy with Jaden at the beginning of the games. Because remember the Jets game?
Yep.
Remember the Eagles game? Lamine Zaccheaus was wide open. He threw that bitch 5 yards over his head. He was like, what the hell is going on? So, yo, that first play, you get some shit from Jaden, boy. He threw that Jane about 8 yards behind B-Rob at 101 miles an hour. I was like, God damn,
and
bro.
then the ball skipping off people's feet and shit. Like, it was just such a disastrous start to the game. It was like 2nd and 28.
Start. It was crazy. It was wild. So,
I mean, hey, man, I was just about to say, we lost to Dallas first, won the second time, lost to the Eagles first time, won the second time.
Ain't nobody got us twice.
Tampa Bay this year.
Yeah, ain't nobody got us twice. Jaden, get him once. Shame on you. You won't get him twice. What he say? What boy say? Fool me again. You won't fool me again, right?
You won't fool me again.
So, what are y'all initial thoughts about this game going up to Tampa Sunday night? And did anybody else feel a sense of pride with the NFL essentially declaring this game the most important of Wild Card Weekend by putting it on Sunday night in the biggest spot of Wild Card Weekend? Did anybody else feel a sense of pride about that?
Go ahead.
I for sure did. Yes.
Of course.
So prideful, man. They put us in the prime time spot. They could have put us as the opening act like the Texans are every year. No one wants to watch the Texans in a big spot. They couldn't score more than 2 points in front of Beyonce on Christmas Day. So y'all are always the openers and never the centerpiece. They're not paying to see you on the concert ticket, Houston. They're coming to see us at 8 p.m. on Sunday, not the Saturday night spot. We are the pièce de résistance of the Wild Card weekend. You know what I'm saying? They put the Eagles at 4 and us.
We took their spot. We took their spot. We took their spot. Like, that's wild. And Jaden is must see TV. I told this story on my channel. I told everyone that my buddy, he's a Raiders fan, and he wanted Jaden Daniels obviously because of the connection between Jaden and former Raiders coach Antonio Pierce.
Went out for Pierce, by the way.
That's right.
Hey, and he was like, yo, Jaden Daniels is must-see TV. He's like, it's akin to the Michael Vick experience. He's like, I can't turn off my TV and miss a single snap when this dude is playing because he's liable to do something we've never seen before. And it's that type of mindset that the NFL, like, I know y'all seen the schedule, like the home and away opponents rather. Hey, that thing is chocked full of goodies next year. You already see 5 primetimers, and we're gonna get a little something on the side. That's a Black Friday, that's a Thanksgiving
holiday. Yep,
it's something coming that we don't want,
overseas or
but you ain't got no choice or say in the matter because they propping up Jaden as one of the faces of the NFL, along with Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, and Allen. So you see what it is. I mean, this is a precursor to that we're playing on Sunday night. Like, they not here for Baker Mayfield. We could have been playing the Rams, and they still would have put us in this spot. We could have been playing the Vikings. They would have put us in this spot. This is all about Jaden Daniels. So it's a big stage. It's bright lights. I can't wait to see it. What are y'all initial thoughts about this game?
Before we go into the initial thoughts too, I'm going to make a very early prediction about 2026. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be one of the teams on our schedule next year. Washington's
don't say it.
Washington's going to be an opening night opponent. We're going to be the opening night. I feel it, bro. Can't you see it right now? Like Washington at the Chiefs on opening night after they get the 3.
Yeah.
Can't you see
Hey, man, we can't play ourselves if we win. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it on our bones, bro. We're going to have that and the Madden cover. And everybody could be losing their mind.
Look, man, I said the same thing, Rio. I said, man, I hope that don't happen because I said I could see the NFL. Like, I'm hoping that, you know, one of them teams have a epic matchup against somebody and they try to run it back like they did with the Ravens and the Chiefs last year, right? They had a really good, you know, championship game. So they was like, let's run that back. But I could easily see them saying, hey, why not Jaden Daniels versus Patrick Mahomes kick off the season on Thursday Night Football? Like, I don't want any parts of that, but I can see it happening.
And we go to Kansas City. We go to Arrowhead next year.
We go to Arrowhead. We go to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Lions on the schedule at home. Like, it's a lot of games where you like, yo, that's a primetime game. That's a primetime game. That's a prime time game. And you know you're getting one against the Eagles and you're getting one against Dallas.
They're going to throw our ass to Europe, too.
I already said that. I said the same thing, Rio. I said it's almost a decade. 2016 was the last time we went when we tied with the Bengals. I said, I guarantee you they sending us across the pond this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got the fifth toughest schedule right now.
Yeah. Jaden coming out the tunnel with the American flag like Rodgers.
Psych.
Just kidding.
Hey, go ahead.
Man.
All right. So initial thoughts.
Somebody go ahead and start.
Yeah, about the Sunday night football game. I love that. I mean, we talked about that last week where, it was going to be AFC on Saturday and the NFC on Sunday. So that's huge, man. Like, everybody's going to be watching Sunday night, 8 o'clock, primetime football. I mean, it just shows what Jaden like, because the Falcons game, they came up with the stat. Like, we had the best rating since 2017 for a week, or I think 2015 for a week 17 Sunday night football game. And everybody was watching that. We already got flex once for the Bears game where it was at 1 o'clock. We got flex at the 4 o'clock spot. And that's the game where we had a Hail Mary. So everybody was watching that. So Jaden's been box office for sure. I know there's other games that they probably wanted to flex, but just due to scheduling, they weren't able to. So like the Eagles game and some of the other games this year. So yeah, we got to get used to that. We got to get used to the 4 o'clock spot.
Ed, you had a great point, Ed. And I said that too as well. It's gonna be a lot of 425 America's Game of the Weeks going on too. It ain't gonna be a lot of 1 o'clocks for us, bro. Them days is over.
This is our life now, y'all. Yeah. People are starting to see the vision, and people want eyes on our quarterback. So we gotta accept it at some point.
Yeah, I'm ready. I was born ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, the way I'm excited, man. I'm excited to go Sunday night football, play a team that we've seen once this year. We're a completely different team than we were at week 1, and so are they. Chris Godwin's out. This is a team that's won their division 4 years in a row. Like, this is a team that has playoff experience. They went wire to wire with the Detroit Lions in Detroit last year. I know exactly what this team is capable of. Baker Mayfield he's unbusted himself as a quarterback, because it was looking real dicey when he was wearing weird numbers for the Rams and playing in Carolina with Sam Darnold. It got real dicey for a second, but he picked the perfect destination, or maybe they picked him to succeed Tom Brady on a playoff-ready team that's built on both sides to win right away. Here you go, Baker. You get 2,000-yard receivers, a good running back, a good tight end, a good offensive line. Go win. And we have a sorry-ass division. So all you got to flounder around 9 or 10 wins each year, and you're going to keep winning this division because the Falcons are still trying to figure their lives out. The Panthers may have figured out that Bryce Young may be good at football still, and this is the Saints are probably going to be bad for another 5 to 10 years. So they got it made in the South right now, but this is a team we can beat. Bucky Irvin, a guy I was high on during draft season, he's going crazy in his rookie year. I knew he was going to be a phenomenal utility back, like Chris Thompson type. I didn't know he had every down capabilities like I've seen him in Tampa this year. Bucky Irvin is a do-everything running back for that team right now. And Baker going crazy. He's well protected. We got to get to him. They got pieces on that defense. We know what Vita Vea does. Guys like Levante David. We got to see what the status of Antoine Winfield is because he's probably the best player on that defense. He may not play Sunday, but it ain't about them, baby. It's about us on Sunday. We know who they are. They've been in the playoffs. Nobody knows just how good we can be. People are still running around thinking that we can't beat a good team. They put this rookie at the Sunday night spot in his first playoff game for a reason. A team that's been in hell for the last 33 years won 12 games in their first year with a rookie GM, a rookie quarterback, new coaching staff, and 20-something new players. Talk to us nice. This is about us and not them.
Absolutely. Well said. I am so excited about this. And when you look at how all of this kind of sets up, I'm allowing myself the space to lose my mind for a little bit, because I'm looking at that 2-7 matchup, and I'm like, hey, if you could take care of the Eagles, maybe you could take care of the Lions too. Because honestly speaking, we're gonna have, if we want to go where we ultimately want to go, we're probably gonna have to beat both of them.
Yep,
both of them. But if you could take care of one, I ain't asking you to beat both of them. But if you could take care of one of them, I could do the other one myself. But I thought Dan Campbell was super disrespectful at the handshake. I don't know if y'all caught wind of that, but he at the handshake after the Sunday night game, he told Kevin O'Connell, "I see you in 2 weeks."
I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you assuming that the 7 and 6 seeds are both going to lose and the Vikings are going to win? And so you'll see them after the bye week? Mm-hmm. I had to hit him with a Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, really? Okay, bet. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity. We said we wanted Ben Johnson before the season. Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. But this might be his last year in Detroit, so I want my shot at him, right? Yep. So I think this game right now, as it stands, looks like a shootout. I don't trust our defense against their offense, and I don't trust their defense against our offense. Mm-hmm. They struggle with mobile quarterbacks. I watched Lamar Jackson cook them.
Tore their ass up.
Cook them. They had no answers for Lamar Jackson's legs and his ability to extend plays. And they don't want any parts of Jaden, right? So, and they didn't have any answers for his legs the first game when we played him either, if you recall that first game of the season. So if we can somehow utilize his legs to open up the pass game, and Terry, you remember Terry got vertical on him and he missed Terry.
Oh, that first play coming back from the first half.
Yeah. Terry was open by about 5 yards.
Oh, he burnt his ass.
And he was open. I know Terry can get vertical on these boys. So I'm looking, and it could be Diami too, right? I think we can get vertical on them. So the key is going to be, we got to protect. The Bucs don't have an elite pass rusher. Their best pass rusher is Yaya Diaby. Yeah. They don't have an elite pass rusher. You know you ain't going to be able to run. Right? They stopped the run. So the whole, we can't run with our running backs, that narrative really doesn't matter this week because we won't go run the shit anyway.
Right.
So the key is, as Ed said, it's a 5 game.
Yep.
It's a 5 game.
5 game and load up them dump off passes to Austin Eckler. We needed him back so badly for this one.
Yes. Yeah. He's going to be a big one.
Hey, Cliff, pull out that middle screen that we ain't seen since week 2.
Pull them all out. Pull all of the shit we ain't seen since early in the season. That screen where we ran to the right and threw it all the way back to the left to Austin Eckler. And
all that week 2 shit.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Bring all that back. Bring them all back.
Magic Johnson's on.
Rico, thoughts on this game?
Man, I'm super excited. I mean, we're all already know everybody can't wait to see Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans, assuming that Marshawn will play. I mean, just that battle alone, man, I already know he's going to travel with them. We've seen evidence that they will let Marshawn travel with the best receiver. That Eagles game, the first time we played them, they just went ahead and let Marshawn follow him all over the place. And I mean, just AJ Brown. I mean, my fault. The second time, they just let him follow AJ Brown everywhere. It wasn't like he covered one side of the field. It was straight AJ Brown, win or loss, AJ Brown. And I think they're going to let him do the same thing against Mike Evans. Because my thing is, I mean, Mike Sanford still has gotten better. And of course, Noah Igbinogheni's stats, are more impressive than what you would think. But the only corner we have on our entire roster right now with any sort of experience and any type of success in the past against a guy like Mike Evans is Marshawn Lattimore. So if anybody knows how to get in his head or anything like that to kind of throw him off somewhat or something like that, Marshawn's going to be huge for us. We really need him healthy. And I completely agree about the Austin Eckler factor because they're going to blitz a lot. You got it. Jaden Daniels, you got to see him because what was it, the first Eagles game or something like that? He was missing Eckler underneath sometimes and stuff like that. We're going to need you to see him this time around. We're definitely going to need that vision. We're definitely going to need Jaden Daniels' legs. I mean, again, like Louie said, they don't have the best pass rush, but they're going to dial up some blitzes, man. And you got to be ready to hit on these man coverages. You got to take advantage of guys being open. We need these receivers to win their matchups. Olamide's a kid, it's tough to have to depend on him to have consistent hands, but he's been like our yak guy. Like he's been out with De'Ami Brown hurt, especially Olamide's been our yak guy.
Yeah, I'm about to say y'all go stop disrespecting OZ. Like he ain't been playing some ball for us, man. He had a rubber go over it Sunday, but y'all ain't gonna be disrespecting OZ.
Hey, I still remember that third down versus the Falcons as well, man. Like catch the ball, man.
He was great that game. That was the one play.
He was, man. We don't go to overtime if he just catches it, but you know what? It's all good, man. He has been hooping. He's been balling.
Yeah.
He's one of the very few touchdowns that Jaden Daniels has thrown not in the end zone where the ball was like located, like a receiver caught it before the end zone and took it into the end zone by making a couple of guys miss. So we're going to need everybody's explosion. We're going to need everybody on their best game. And boy, we need Tyler Biadasz, man. Vita Vea versus Michael Dieter is a game killer. I'm sorry. We might as well go ahead and pack that up.
Yeah, we're going to get packed up real quick. Oh, my God.
Facts.
I hate that.
Facts. That's a good one.
Need Tyler Biadasz real bad.
Yeah, I need to see Lattimore out there for sure against Mike Evans. That's going to be so huge. That matchup, like Mike Evans has gone out his way twice to come out of the camera screen and push Marshawn Lattimore for just out of nowhere. Like it's happened twice. Like he's gone out his way. So I could see Marshawn really get under his skin, and I'm not gonna say any ejection, but I could see Marshawn getting Mike Evans getting in his head and taking him out of his game. That would be awesome to happen.
And Mike Evans only had like one good game out of like 10 versus him too. So like he gets in his head clearly.
Great point. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then two guys I'm looking at we haven't really talked about is John Allen, Daron Payne, man. Like John Allen's talked about the playoffs so much,
We ain't talked about him for a reason.
Right.
They better keep his ass away from the pregame speech. I better not see it on Sunday.
Oh, you already know he leading that joint.
Them boys eating up $43 million for free, man. They ain't getting nothing.
Those are two guys where it's gotten to the point where it's like it's low key where we haven't talked about them. But man, like this is like a huge game for John Allen, Daron Payne to step up.
It is.
Hey, but remember, Daron Payne balled out the last time we were in the playoffs. We played the Buccaneers. That was probably his best game of it. Can we get that Daron Payne, please?
And he was actually low key impactful in the opener. He just couldn't get Baker on the ground, but he
was back there. He was definitely
back there a bunch. That was when they were letting them jump, into the backfield before we started getting gashed in the run game, and they started having them two gap again. So
who's drawing the Jalen McMillan matchup? Because that boy been looking like they're number one some of these weeks, man.
Right, Mikey.
No, it's got to be Mikey.
I don't want Noah Igbenogany running with Jalen McMillan. I'm cool.
Nah.
Yeah,
well, he was getting killed by Turpin. We had
my
God, come on now. Turpin might be the fastest dude in the NFL.
He probably is the fastest.
I mean, y'all asking a lot of
I don't see Turpin doing this every week though. That's my problem. Like, we can't let this punt returner do us like this.
They don't be giving them enough opportunities. They say it's the last game of the season. You can get out there and run around a little bit.
And I don't know why.
I don't know why they're not using it. But so there's so many matchups within the game that are going to be huge. Our ability to convert on fourth downs has been big this season. And we're probably going to need them again in this game as well. I hope they don't try to run up the middle against this Buccaneers defense with Vita Vea and company. The last time we played them, we went for it on the fourth down. We didn't know that was going to be the start of us leading the NFL in fourth down conversion percentage. But remember, we ran the little joint outside with Jaden, and he got the first down. So we'll see if that also plays a factor in this game. And having success in the red zone.
Another big factor that I want to add is, remember, and we were talking about this pre-show, Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner were exhausted last time we played.
They were getting smoked. They were getting smoked, bro.
That Tampa Bay heat, humidity, they just were not not playing much in the preseason. I don't think Bobby Wagner played a single snap to having to play. I mean, that was back then too, before like Mykal Walker was getting snaps, before Jordan McGee started to play. They were playing like 100% of snaps back then in like week one. They weren't ready. So I think having them, especially with their ability to blitz, I think they'll be that because again, like y'all mentioned, we got a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield last time. We just couldn't bring him down. I think Frankie Louvu And Bobby Wagner finally actually having some stamina this game. And I think also Dante Fowler has just
they couldn't block Dante in the first game. He just couldn't get him down.
Yep. And the difference maker in this game defensively, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the best third down conversion team in football. Boy, we be struggling on third down. It's either we give up a big play or commit a penalty every single. Boy, if 25 is on the field on third down, if 25 is on the field on third down, laundry. Every time, laundry.
They
even
picking on him
if
now.
he's wrong or not.
He got a reputation flag.
Yeah, they picked.
The second one wasn't a pass. The first one was clearly a face mask, but the second one,
that second joint was a reputation flag. Like he looked, he said, "Oh shit, it's 25."
Yeah. And the problem was his arm was draped around Buddy's the small of his back, like he was trying to ask him to the dance floor, and that's where they got him. Like, oh, that's 25. I know he's doing something. Man. I know he's doing something.
Ain't no way 25 just stopped somebody from scoring a touchdown.
Hey, bro, he located the ball. He actually played the ball.
He got his
come
on,
I
was like,
he came off the field. I felt bad for him. It was like a dude in school who always get in trouble, and then he finally decided to clean up his act.
That's the boy cried wolf.
Exactly. And now, it's some graffiti on the wall or something. They're like, I know he did it. He was like, bro, I swear I ain't do it this time.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
And he was like, bro, what did I do? I ain't even do nothing this time. I felt so bad.
That has to be so mentally exhausting, man. To finally get the technique down, and then they didn't care. It's just crazy.
It was wild, bro. All right, let's get to the comment section. Let me give a quick shout out to my guy, Boss Hog. Pot out there trolling y'all in the comment section. I told y'all about my friend that's a Buccaneers fan that is the biggest troll that I know. That's who I was talking about, that guy right there. So y'all just got a taste of him. Pause just now.
First Bucs fan I've ever been interacted with in my life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It ain't a lot of them. I can tell you that.
I'm from Atlanta.
Where they make those at?
I'm from Atlanta. I ain't never seen one.
Never seen one in real life before.
They exist. Like the M&M commercial at Christmas. He does exist.
He does exist.
I do exist. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, of course, we don't look past Tampa, but Dan Campbell was he was a little disrespectful. During that handshake, I need Dan Q versus Dan C match like yesterday. I'm right there with you, bro. Like, I know he ain't mean no harm by it. He was more so trying to give them credit. Like, yo, good game. We gonna see y'all again. But we took that as a sign of disrespect, on some MJ shit.
And I took that personally.
Yeah, we took that personal on some MJ shit, right? So I need it. I need it. But I don't have to have it if the Packers feel like beating the Eagles. I don't have to have it right now. You know what I'm saying? I could take the winner of Rams Vikings. I have no issues with that.
I like that kind of bravado, though. I like how Dan Quinn makes me want to run through a wall. He ain't even my damn team's coach. So
yeah. He's different. Dan Campbell is
like he is they got to put his face on every single thing that says leader of men, because that's what he is. He is not an X's and O guy at all.
Yeah.
Talking about biting kneecaps and all that, going for them fourth down, every fourth down. I mean, getting the offensive lineman involved in the receiving game.
Yeah,
it's different. That, man.
Kyle W.
It looks great when you winning, but you can't do that while losing. Yeah,
that's right.
Say his personality while losing, ain't nobody stand up for that.
And shout out to the Lions for giving him the patience to build that thing up, because unlike some teams that just get rid of a guy immediately, he had time to turn them from ass to a contender. So
that's right. Yep. You gotta give somebody that kind of leeway to do that. Yep. Kyle W, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Kyle Dub writes, "What's good, Kings? Yo, what's good?" Kyle says, "Yo, y'all imagine if Terry had high stepped about 2 or 3 times this year. My man would have had 16 of them. Yep. He would have been right there with Jamar Chase for the lead in the NFL. I mean, think about the high steps, right? Chicago game,
Cleveland
game.
That play not being a touchdown is criminal. That play, that's the one where Jaden escaped, rolled out to the right, man.
Right.
If you look at the dots version, you're like, there's no way. The little dots moving on this. It's like, how was that not a touchdown?
Right. And then the 2 in New Orleans, right? Like, he could have had so many touchdowns
and yards.
Right, and yards to go with it. Kyle, we were this close to leading the league in touchdown receptions, and him be like 4th in the league in receiving yards. We was that close. Jason Rogers, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Uncle Jay writes, look at us, fellas.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Oh man, that is the season in a nutshell.
Hey, Scotty, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hey, the Cardiac Commanders. These last 4 weeks have been crazy.
They trying to kill us, man.
Man, it started with the Saints game. That had the potential to wreck our season. Yep. Out the bye.
Yeah.
Losing to the Saints in that fashion. Yep. Bro, we wouldn't have come back from that. We was done. Remember we sat here? Cooked. We sat here on that day, like, man, I'm so glad we didn't lose that game, right? Ooh. That had a chance to cook us. But we used that as motivation and fuel to go to next week. The first time we've been down that big since Tampa. We haven't been down we were down big against Baltimore. It was 27-13, I believe.
Yeah, 2 possessions.
And Jaden had that crazy possession where he took us down the field, the 4th down, and then the Terry throw. But we were down 13 we had 2 10-point comebacks, right? 10 or more point comebacks in consecutive weeks. 27-14 against the Eagles, 17-7 at the half against Atlanta. And, both of those obviously coming down to the wire, overtime in the Falcons game, last second touchdown, just like this Cowboys game. Yeah, we don't like to win games comfortable. Like DQ said, just because you can doesn't mean you have to, right? But I think that has helped us build up a callus. Now we know we can win in these types of situations.
Well, they take years off our lives every time they play a football game. But you know what the flip side of that is? Brothers, we haven't lost since before Thanksgiving. Ain't that crazy?
We had an absolute ass November, right? And I said, flush November. Let's make it a December to remember. Mm-hmm. And we cleaned the entire plate.
Our last loss was November 24th, y'all.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Bro, we mid-January.
Listen, we think about it like this. We the hottest team going into the playoffs. Nobody else has a 5-game win streak on either side of the bracket.
Let's go.
Especially the way that we're doing it too. I appreciate the fact that Dan Quinn pointed out the obvious, when you win games like that, it definitely bodes well for you in the future. But to Louie's point, I'm happy that he also acknowledged the fact that, hey man, we don't have to do this every time, right? Like, we're legally allowed to win games comfortably. Like, we can go up 14 points if we wanted to. It's not against NFL rules.
We are built for the clutch, though. Like, if that game comes down to it and 5 get that ball in his hand, we might as well sit back and kick our feet up on the lazy boy because we've been here all year.
I love it, man. I love the fact that we got that much confidence in our ability in these types of situations. When the game's on the line, we're not nervous. We expect to win. That's the confidence that 5 has instilled in us. Not just us, but his teammates as well, right? Obviously, his teammates think, oh, no, we're finna win this game. And shit, we just did it with Marcus Mariota, right? They think they're going to win. If the game's close, they think they're going to win. That's a hell of a trait to have. Yeah. Barrett Downing.
We're a second half team. Well, one thing I said, we're a second half team. Mariota was saying some interesting things, too, like defenses have been showing Jaden different looks. And then he gets warmed up more in the second half after he gets adjusted to the look. So defenses are really trying to throw him off. But Jaden's so smart, he's adjusting. If we can just get it going in the first half, we can get these teams out the way.
I mean, I think a great point to that is the Falcons game, right? He was eating them up on that little slot slant, right? So what they do? Drop that linebacker underneath, right? And he threw the pick. They tried to get him on that again, and he just went to the other side. You know what I'm saying? So he is extremely smart. He does, like they said, he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And so I just love the composure, his demeanor, and when it's winning time, he's as clutch as it gets, and that's how you win in this league. That's how you win.
It's not even fluke explosive plays either. It's just like 5 yards here, 7 yards there, like methodical Tom Brady in control the whole time type stuff.
Get you down the field, take the time off the clock, and take your soul out.
Yep, facts, big facts. Bear it down, and my guy BD. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, "What's up, brothers? What's going on, Barrett?" He says, "No matter what happens this weekend, this season has been a dub for me."
It's a fact.
Everybody,
Super
I think,
fact. House money.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of agrees with that. Like, we not satisfied by any stretch of the imagination just getting to the playoffs, but if the road ends on Sunday, like, what? We just getting started. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. It's only up from here. Like, I look at it from this perspective. This is the worst that the roster is going to be
for a while. Yeah,
this is the worst, and we won 12 games, and this is the worst the roster is going to be. So I'm looking forward to it.
We're complaining about O-line. We're complaining about receiver. We're complaining about running back, corner, all kinds of interior defensive line. We're talking about all of these weaknesses. 12 wins.
Make sure y'all smash that like button. By the way, we got about 1,000 in here, just under 1,000 in here. Let's get these likes up in the building. It costs you nothing. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for, man?
Hit that thing. Yes, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. We literally uploaded the live stream at like 8:32. So you got to have that notification bell, right? Be a part of the Noti gang. All right. DC Community Carrot. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, because B-Rob ain't got vision and the center is out, he needs a change of pace back. Are we drafting a wide receiver and trading for a vet? If so, which rookie and vet?
I have answers for these questions. I just have so much reservations because some of these answers, I don't want to get into them just yet, baby. We playing in the playoffs on Sunday night.
That's who you want. That's who you want.
No, that's who I think I think signing wise, we're looking at something like just because we have the money, I don't think we're going to go out and sign the top guy at each position. And I think fans need to go in with some hope. That don't mean we having a Ron Rivera type offseason. I think we can make a big trade up for a wide receiver. But don't be surprised if they come out the gate on day 2 of free agency and sign a guy like Nick Westbrook or a.k.a. That don't mean he's the end-all be-all of the wide receiver room. I think they could bring him in for like a wide receiver 3. Yeah. I think they could bring him in for like the 3rd option. They're gonna go after something.
He would be number 2 here.
Until we make that move, I think we're making a move.
I would rather bring back De'Ami Brown.
I think we're making a move for somebody for the big name, but we can wait on that, baby. We playing.
Yeah. That's
the media. The media is trying to force Tyreek here. That's what I'm seeing.
Tyreek not going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He had a case of the Jonathan Allens, right? Where you talk to somebody right after a nasty season and they like, yo, hey, if I gotta go, I'm gonna be out. Like,
you throw that mic and that camera in the face of a diva receiver after he just realized he didn't hit 1,000 yards this season. What you think he about to say?
Yeah, he was definitely heated, and this is the first time he made the playoffs. So he was pissed off, and people say shit when they mad. Like, it's no different than a fan, right? You catch a fan at the wrong time after a tough loss. And they talking all kinds of reckless.
Me. Yeah. Don't. If you tune in at the end of the game we just lost, I'm liable to say anything. Yeah. So the next day I come in with some nice reserve. I thought about it the next day, but if you catch me right after the game, I'm liable to say anything.
Hey, emotions be high, man. Right? So
the team will do it to you, man.
Rio be tripping. Rio be tripping. Rio he be shipping out players and get them off the field, man.
Can't win with them.
Hey, go ahead, man.
Boy, I done sent B-Rob to Uzbekistan 3 times.
About 15 times, bro. 15 times. King of the Bluegrass. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, King of the Bluegrass. Right. What's up, fellas? What's up, King of the Bluegrass? Our running game sucks. Do you think it's a line problem or a running back problem or both?
I think it's more of an offensive line thing, but I think it's a mix of both. Because if the middle shut down, Brian Robinson doesn't have the speed of explosion to bounce it outside and successfully actually get there before the linebackers or DBs do. So it's really just Tyler Biotish being out has not helped at all. But even when Tyler Biadasz was in there, we still haven't run the ball well since like the Titans game. So I feel like it's a mix of both. You know, and we just need an explosive back that can at least scare defenses a little bit and take some people out of the box. I think Eckler's going to help a lot. Having Eckler full of healthy is going to be a big help there.
Combination.
Yes, it's definitely shout out Drake on that one, but no, it's
combination.
I think it's definitely both. Like Rico said, I think B-Rob's a little burnt out. I mean, he's had a lot of wear and tear. He's missed a couple of games too. And like, there's been a bunch of games where he's had a game time decision. Right now, he's not hitting the hole, got the vision. And you look at C-Rod, he's more explosive than him right now. And C-Rod has had a lot. He's had a lot of less carries, and McNichols looks more explosive than him too. So I think they gotta attack, like the last super chat said. They gotta attack the running back position. They gotta get some explosiveness in here and a home run hitter. And just B-Rob just doesn't have that consistency. I think B-Rob's a solid running back. He's had a good season. I'm a big B-Rob fan, but I just think he's kind of worn down throughout the season.
Motion that we all call B-Rob Brian until further notice.
I second.
I'm with it.
Brian Robinson Jr., y'all.
DC Community Garrett. Thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Hospice Joe Biden gave us RFK back. He says, we back in DC 2027. Nah, you know how long it take for a stadium to get built.
Yeah, don't believe Muriel Bowser. She gaslighting.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't. We still a long ways from breaking ground anywhere, I think. So
I think that deal in them renderings coming this year though.
We could see something. We could see something, but it's hard to see renderings when we still don't even know where the hell the stadium gonna be at. You don't even know how much space you're working with. Because that RFK site, it ain't a ton of room, right? You literally got to knock down RFK and build it right back on that same exact site. You know what I mean? So I think if they end up back in Maryland, you going right back where it is right now. They probably gonna build it in the parking lot right next to FedEx, or Northwest, excuse me. So
they going hard at it. That thing is going right at the RFK site.
That's what they want.
Yeah, they want it bad. They sweating it.
Yeah, they want that. They want it bad. We're gonna see what happens. Yep. CJ shoots photo. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. CJ writes, Yo, Kings. What up, CJ? What up with KJ? Was he a mistake? Thought week 18 would have been his best week to give him some targets, not even active. HTTR. I mean, we told y'all, just like those who think that McCaffrey breakout game coming. The KJ, you keep thinking about the KJ breakout game then. Like,
who's KJ? Who's this KJ guy you guys speak of?
Who is this? Who is this?
What do we speak of right now?
Literally, he was brought here as insurance. Like, if we get somebody hurt, that's how he gets active. But he's not going to be active over any of the receivers that are already here. He's not going to be active over Jamison Crowder. He's not going to be active over De'Ami Brown or Luke McCaffrey or OZ, and obviously not Terry. So they're not going to keep more than 5 receivers up. They haven't done that all season. So
he's just keeping somebody helmet warm right now. We signed him. It was 2 games inactive. Then he played the Falcons game. And he got a holding penalty.
De'Ami was hurt.
Yep, yeah. De'Ami was hurt. Yep, got a holding penalty. That's the only time we've heard his name or even remembered he was on the team.
Yeah.
And the very next game inactive.
Yep. What does it say about KJ Osborne that he couldn't get on the field in the New England's ass wide receiving room and our very bad wide receiver? What does that say about who he is at this point of his career? We looked at the Minnesota production. He hasn't been able to crack the lineup in 2 of the bottom 5 wide receiver rooms in the league. So sometimes we got to believe who people are when they show us.
Wait, look, they told us that he ain't had no juice. Right, that was the word coming out of New England. He ain't had no juice. That's why he couldn't get on the field.
Yeah, he's got more penalties than catches right now. I mean, that's where we're at right now.
It's terrible.
I don't even know what a KJ Osborne route looked like at this point. Have we even practice rep?
Nah. Chris Moore came in and ran more practice reps. He was getting after the first day he got in here. I don't even know what number KJ Osborne wears at this point.
He's just a part of the entourage for the playoffs. But he along for the ride. I see them post on his story the other day with the playoff. They like, look at this dude putting his name on the group project.
Hey, look, man, I seen him. He was front and center for the DQ game ball. He was right there in front. I was like, look at KJ.
Hey, he's probably the first one to the locker room.
Hey, I loved it, man.
So
he had a shower after. He only got a shower after the
game. That boy Martavis Bryant was a more impactful signing.
He was.
Y'all terrible, man. RTS with Oscar Montiel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, don't want to be a Russian judge, but I think we get knocked out. All right, we got to go to the next one, man.
That's bad juju, man.
Yeah, we ain't having that. Captain Obvious.
We're not moving like that no more, man.
Nah, we ain't. That ain't how we operate, man. You back in the old era. It's a new day. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Yeah. Who writes, when it comes to penalties, Tampa Bay is the better team. I don't even know what you're getting at. Like,
there's a more disciplined
team. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, he's right with that. We've had a lot of penalties over the last. We've had a lot of turnovers. We beat the Eagles with 5 turnovers. So I mean, we've been shooting ourselves in the foot. But Jaden's been so good, and the team has been able to overcome that. So that's something we certainly have to clean up on. So we haven't been good with penalties. So that's what he's trying to say.
We've been really sloppy though here of late. If you think about post by.
First and 20s and second and 18s and stuff. It's been ugly.
Yeah,
we live behind the sticks.
Yeah,
and we somehow get through it, man. 5.
Not somehow. You know who? You know how.
That's why we got to go 4 on 4 down all the time. We got to go 4 on 4th and 14, and he gets it. 4th and 11, he gets it. That's why we got to go on 4 down.
Down behind.
Meanwhile, Bo Nix, and I'm not taking nothing away from the phenomenal rookie season he had. He's had 7 touchdowns this year where the ball didn't travel past the line of scrimmage. Imagine having that type of yak for 5.
Yeah, that's the same.
Might be coming.
Have we scored a touchdown on a screen or something behind the line of scrimmage?
Nah, the closest we've come is those Terry slants by the end zone. We had 2 of those, one against the Giants, one against the Titans. Like, that's as good as you're going to get. Take it.
I was so jealous watching that Lions one, that Lions screen that went for I was like, oh, man, that would be so nice for Jaden.
Yeah.
For us, we always get one, but it's an illegal man downfield.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time.
We don't like nice things.
We hate nice things.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, we need to overcome our lack of discipline on the offensive line. It cost us the first time. We definitely have to steer clear of the illegal man downfield, hands to the face, holding, that type of stuff. We really gotta give ourselves a shot. Can't shoot ourselves in the foot with costly penalties and mistakes. This is the big time. This is the playoffs. Everybody's good. We ain't playing Tennessee, Carolina, or Cleveland no more. This ain't New Orleans, right? This is a good team we playing against. So
very good coach team.
So we got to make sure we don't beat ourselves. That's the biggest thing. I can live with a loss if they just beat us. Don't beat yourself. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hey. Door Gunner writes, ready to be an absolute menace Sunday in Raymond James Stadium.
He's going to the game. That's lit, man.
Yeah, I think he lives in Tampa.
Yeah, he lives down there.
Yeah, for sure. He already said he was going to be in there wrecking.
Please make their night miserable down there.
Oh, he going to do it for sure. Gear Cell 1, thank you for the super chat. This is Ed's favorite right here. Gear Cell 1, thank you for the super chat.
Just say he was out Pleasant or something, man.
Hey, B-Rob is struggling because he wears candy yam yoga pants with zebra turtleneck with the Bama zipper. Tragic.
The turtleneck is crazy.
I hate that fit so much.
Candy yam yoga pants.
Yams?
That sounds like something the young Dro would have got off in a bar back in the day.
While making his shoulder lean.
You ain't lying. You are not lying at all.
Candy yam yoga pants look
like straight from Amsterdam.
Hell yeah, he would have cooked that joint. Nah, he killed me every time with the yoga pants.
Shadow Striker 789. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I don't know if we ready for that Tampa Bay running back duo. We let Deuce Vaughn look like King Vaughn. Hey, he was killing folks, huh?
Literally.
Also, game plan looked different when Marcus was in. More quick throws, ball out fast. Why can't do that for 5? Because they don't have to. That's why. Like I understand what you're saying. Like the ball, like they ran a couple of Eckler screens, right, where the ball came out quick, and you were like, shit, this ain't look like that in the first half. But they knew Marcus ain't 5. Like when there was pressure, Marcus curled up in the fetal position. Like,
he fell backwards on one play.
Yeah, one time he
was touched by a ghost. He was
by the 12th man.
He was touched by an angel.
Nah, that looked
so that was a banana pill.
Yo, which one looked worse? That joint or the one where the dude threw the ball? Who was that? Was that Will Levis? Who threw the joint? Was going forward like he had an anvil.
That was the Eagles.
Yeah, Kenny
Pickett. Which one was worse, Kenny Pickett's or Marcus Mariota's?
That Mariota thing looked weird, man.
Hey, Kenny Pickett joint was crazy, bro.
I'm gonna pick Kenny Pickett, but Marcus Mariota's is more memeable because they could put all sorts of things to make it look like it was the reason he fell. All kinds of banana pills.
I would say that's a Mario Kart banana peel. Easy.
Straight backwards, and it looked like a ghost sacked him, bro. It was crazy,
bro. That was some straight 12 man type stuff. Like Kadeem Hardison came and scooped his ass up. Hey, that was wild. AJSTP003, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
My guy writes, when JD5 got bent up, reminded me of when Doug Williams got his own pretzel in that Super Bowl, against the Broncos. Hell yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I was scared. I ain't gonna even front.
Boy,
I was stationed in Germany up late with all the barracks watching. Man, and Doug got up and then crushed those boys in the second quarter.
That second quarter was one to remember, man.
One for the ages. I think it got us. I think we talked about it last week. That's all of us was spooked. Y'all were at the stadium. You and Ed were at the stadium, right?
I dropped my knees from section 101.
Y'all was at the stadium. Yeah, that was wild. We were all holding our collective breaths on that one. Chris Kreider, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Chris writes, YouTube wouldn't let me do a solid 20, but I got 5 on it. So I found this mega channel. He said, so glad I found this mega channel with you for, man. We so glad that you continue to support us, man.
Yes,
really appreciate you, Chris, man. Thank you so much for the support. Indeed. JB, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JB writes, HTTC, Ed, Lou, Rico, and Rio. We're in the offs, gents. We go into the offs. And we got the primary spot in the offs. It ain't just we in the offs. We on Sunday night.
We don't open up for folks. What a centerpiece, baby.
Oh yeah, no. We not nobody opening. We on the marquee, baby. J Mod 6, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, cheers to a successful regular season. Sorry, Baker, but your time is up. JD about to immortalize his rookie season with a playoff win, left hand up. That's all he needs to stamp this thing is one win in the postseason. And I've said this already. If the Eagles get bounced in the first round and he wins 2 playoff games, he will have exactly the same amount of playoff wins as both Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott in one season. So, I mean, this man has a chance to do things that other teams they ain't been able to do in a short amount of time. So I'm loving it, bro.
You know how bad he wants it to, because he always compares himself to CJ Stroud. You know, they grew up together. They're basically best friends. And he even talked about it like CJ Stroud was nominated for 2 Heismans, but I won one. Like I outdid him there. And remember CJ Stroud, even though Jaden Daniels' rookie season regular season wise has been better than CJ Stroud's last year's rookie season. Regular
he
season
won a playoff game,
but CJ Stroud won a playoff game, so I know Jaden gonna lay it out there on the line.
He said he had that shit as his wallpaper on his phone. We got one of those hyper, like psychotic type competitors, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love
sir.
it. I love it, man. Tony, really appreciate the $50 dono, man.
go.
Really appreciate you, Tony, man. Thank you for the support and thank you for your generosity. Tony writes, we have to diminish stupid penalties. Also, can Payne and Allen please show up? Peace, bros. Thank you once again, Tony, man. We really, truly do appreciate you. It'd be nice if they showed up. It'd be nice if the Bama wall was actually a wall again, right? The penalties are a big deal. Penalties and the mistakes, the drop passes, the missed opportunities, the turnovers. We went from a team that didn't turn it over. We would go weeks without a turnover to now, I think we've turned it over in every single game since the bye week. I mean, we turned it over in the game before the bye week against the Titans. Jaden threw a pick in that game. I don't know if we turned it over against the Saints, though. I don't think we had turnover in that game. But we had a turnover the last 3 weeks for sure. So we got to eliminate the mistakes, the penalties, the missed opportunities. And it would be nice if Allen and Payne showed up. Ed made reference to that earlier.
Say Payne had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for losses last time we played the Buccaneers in the playoffs.
It would be nice if that guy showed up.
Long time. That was a whole name ago. Yeah. Come on, Payne. Show me some. Show me why we should not be shipping both of y'all Bama asses out of here this offseason. And please show me. Someone
Bama
show
you
me
mean?
The Alabama, but double entendre. Take it how you will.
JB, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Writes, I need to see that middle screen we haven't seen since week 2. Laughing my ass off. Rio, you have a way with words.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we need it, bro. We need it like we need air to breathe. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William writes, I'm ready to see what playoff Cliff has in his bag. He got it. I know Cliff is chomping at the bit to get a do-over. He was awful the last time he was in the postseason with the Rams or the Cardinals. They went to LA and it was a bloodbath. It was bad. So I think he's looking for some get back in the postseason as well.
He ain't have 5 back then. That's the difference, man.
He ain't have them. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy Chris. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. C-Mac writes, hey, Lou, Rio, Rico, and Ed. Hope all is well with everyone. Likewise, as always. 3 questions, 1 and 2. What is the one under-the-radar player on offense and defense that needs to step up for us to win on Sunday, and why? And 3, how would you scheme our rush D, third worst, 137.5 yards a game per game given up? So under the radar players that have to step up on offense and defense, and then how would you scheme up the rank defense?
So the under the radar guys, I wanted to say, I know Zach is not under the radar, but I wanted to bring this up earlier. I'll call him Lil Yak Zach from now on because he got some yak.
A little bit of yak.
A little bit of yak. Some yak Zach.
So
need a little some yak Zach. So we talked about how the Buccaneers are terrible against mobile quarterbacks. They're pretty bad against tight ends, too. So Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. Kyle Pitts had 2 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. Jake Ferguson had 40 yards against the Buccaneers. So they give up yards to the tight end position. And Jaden loves Zach Ertz. He's been a big security blanket for Jaden. So, I mean, you can obviously – Terry's not under the radar. De'Ami Brown, like you brought up earlier, Louie, he might be under the radar guy, too. But I would take a look at Zach Ertz. I think we need him in the red zone, certainly, too. Zach Ertz has been big. I mean, he had the touchdown catch against the Falcons. He had a touchdown catch against the Cowboys. So he's been pretty consistent the last couple of weeks. Defense, for me, is hard to say under the radar again. But I would say Dante Fowler, man, because if he can get that pressure, because he's been our best, most explosive pass rusher. And he has to be careful. We talked about penalties a lot. He has to be careful with the roughing the passer. For whatever reason, it's been him for the most part. And they haven't been roughing the pass. Maybe one was a pass interference out of the 5 or 10 that he's gotten so far this year. I think he's going to be one of our most important pieces that's under the radar for sure.
I got mine as well. Under the radar shouldn't be under the radar because we selected this player in the second round of the draft, but Johnny Newton hasn't flashed as much as I would have liked him to in his rookie year. And it's okay to say that. He's a rookie coming in behind the example of Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, but it would be nice if somebody gives us some type of pressure from the inside. Because, Johnny Newton's supposed to be a defensive tackle that sacks quarterback. He's supposed to be the guy in the middle that actually gets back there and wreaks havoc on quarterbacks for the other team. So Johnny Newton's my defensive under the radar guy because he has been under the radar. Sheldon Day has been putting better tape out there than Johnny Newton. And honestly, Sheldon Day might be putting out as good a tape in the inside as all of the defensive tackles. On the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Offensive/special team. Jamison Crowder, if he can help flip some field position on our side and catch the couple passes we throw him, he could play such a huge role. I think we're going to be getting the ball out of Jaden's hands real quick. It's going to be a 5 game. I think with those blitzes, we're going to be seeing flat routes, crossing routes, and stuff like that. I think Jamison Crowder could eat on those, but a good punt return could do wonders for this team in flipping field position. So give me Jamison Crowder and Johnny Newton.
Yeah, for me, defensively, I have Dorrance Armstrong because, before his injury against the Ravens, he started to get better and better and better because I think it was against the Cardinals. He had 5 pressures against the Cleveland Browns. The very next week he had 6. Then he got hurt against the Ravens, and it seems like he's had flashes, but he hasn't gotten back to that yet. And to y'all's points, I think Dante Fowler is going to get a lot of attention. I'm hoping that Johnny Newton steps up and gets a lot of the attention. I think it's time for Dorrance Armstrong to live up to being, I think, was he our highest paid free agent or something? At least top 2. And I'm going to need him to go out there and ball out and earn that.
15 million a year.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, we need you to go out there and play like it. Jamison Crowder was my number 1 answer, but just to add to that, and I'm gonna give another answer, because even the fact that we were willing to throw a game-winning touchdown, they said that play was designed and it worked in practice, and then in a moment when we needed it most, they designed it to throw it to Jamison Crowder in that moment. So the fact that they trust him, but my underrated player will be Tyler Biadasz. Just off of the fact that people don't really pay a lot. We do, but most people don't really pay attention to a center and how much he matters to an offense. It's bad. It's really bad. This offense is just so inefficient. We're behind the sticks and everything when we don't have Tyler Biadasz out there. I even saw, I think it was like the Jaden Daniels mic'd up, which was amazing. I feel like they just need to go ahead and release the whole 3-4 hours of that. But there was even one point you heard Michael Dieter asking Jaden Daniels something, and I like the communication, but I feel like Tyler Biadasz probably is more definitive with his analysis of what the defense is showing them. I remember hearing something in that voice, that mic up that he had to ask Jaden Daniels, are we doing this? And then Jaden Daniels was like, yeah, you sure? And so I just can't wait to have Tyler Biadasz on a communication level, leadership level, and then especially blocking, because again, Brian Robinson without being able to run up the middle, it's tough. I don't want to say ineffective, but man, it's hard for him to get going if he can't run up the middle.
And to add to that, on the mic'd up, he told Jaden, man, thank you for making me right. I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love you 4 times.
Right. Because he knew, he made him right. You know what I'm saying?
Lining them up every play and giving them all the calls.
And so Jamison Crowder was mine too, because he has a chance to be big on 3rd downs and in the red zone and things of that nature. But I give you another one. You throw out De'Ami. I'm a big De'Ami Brown believer. But I think Jeremy McNichols, this is one of those games where you're not going to run it very effectively. And Todd Bowles is going to blitz. One of the guys that has been very effective in picking up the blitz has been Jeremy McNichols. They trust him in the game as a pass catcher, as a blitz pickup guy. And I think, he had a big play against Atlanta when he caught that pass on 4th down and extended and got the 1st down. And so I think he could have an impact in this game on offense. Defensively, I think I was going to go with Dorrance Armstrong as well, but I'll go on the other side and say Cleveland Farrell, right? Cleveland is one of those dudes that kind of goes under the radar. He doesn't play a bunch of snaps, but, he had a sack forced fumble the first game we played against Tampa Bay, and he had another sack forced fumble. I want to say it was against Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. So if we could catch them napping on that backside, Bake likes to run around loosey-goosey with the football. and maybe Clee can clean up something, and maybe we can finally recover one of his forced fumbles. We still haven't recovered one of them this season. Maybe we can get one that we can recover in this game. And then how would y'all scheme up the run D?
How we scream up the run D. We need some linebackers coming downhill, and we need that Alabama wall to earn their paycheck, bro. We paid them top dollar, almost $50 million. They got to lead from the front, and the backers have to follow suit. It's not too drastic.
I completely agree, because we naturally want to say, okay, well, Marshawn Lattimore out there, and then we leave him on the island. That allows us to put like an extra safety in the box. But I completely agree with Rio, man. At the end of the day, man, these guys are getting paid too much money for them to not be able to handle at least a lot of it themselves, man. I mean, they wanted it too. Remember when they were at first being utilized as like eat up double teams, eat up the offensive linemen so the linebackers can make the play. Then we got rid of Sam Mills III, and we're allowing them to be the guys and go and make the plays, and they haven't.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Bucs run scheme is one that does not terrify me. Like, I was afraid of the Falcons run scheme because it's inside outside zone. We stink at defending the edges, right? Which is why they put Deron Payne out there a lot now, because teams capture the edge against us. We don't crack replace well. And I really was afraid of that outside zone. That's not what the Bucs do. They're a gap scheme team, counters. Their offense looks a lot like ours in terms of how slow developing their run game is. And so I think we got a chance to neutralize it if we can fit our blocks, if guys can defeat blocks. I really think what it's going to come down to is, can we be stout at the point of attack, and then can we keep our linebackers clean and allow them to play downhill? If we can do that, I think we got a chance to neutralize their run game and not let one of these runs get out and be an explosive 47, 52-yard run. Like, that's what we got to avoid. If we can play downhill, I think we got a shot to really keep this run game at a minimum and give us a shot to force Baker Mayfield to beat us. What says you, Ed?
Oh, man, y'all coached that up. Y'all tee that up perfectly, man. But, yeah, the Alabama wall, they got to step up. The Bama wall, they got to step up and beat their matchups for sure. And, yeah, the element of Marshawn should help. I know Saquon was able to run crazy, but if we can kind of – we're not going to be able to sell out on the run because Baker can throw the ball for sure. But if you can bring that one man in the box and make the box heavy, I think that would slow down Bucky a little bit. But they got to wrap up and tackle and be physical for sure. But yeah, the Bama one, they really got to step up, man. They got to win their matchup. Johnny Newton just throwing that rotation of guys in there, Sheldon Day winning the edge. Cleveland Farrell's a really good edge rusher against the run too. So like we said, under the radar, it's going to be a big Cleveland Farrell game. It's going to be all hands on deck for sure.
GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. GT writes, Josh, AP, DQ, and most of the coaches have significant playoff experience. I feel low-key confident about our chances on Sunday. Playoff football cures all injuries. Let's effing go. Hashtag HTTC.
You're not the only one feeling confident, man. I'm looking at the NFL Network panel. I'm looking at ESPN. Our biggest op, Adam Rank, picked us. A lot of people
He trying to give us some bad juju, man. He trying to,
or maybe everybody's seeing the vision that these boys are coming in hotter than every team in the league. We about to come and we about to handle business.
Adam Rank trying to pull an old Jedi mind trick. Like, I've been picking them to lose, and now it's backfire. Let me see if I try the other side, if it'll work in my favor. I ain't buying that, man. But I tell you what, you're not wrong. I'm seeing almost to the point where it's making me uncomfortable. It used to. If this was the old me without Jay.
Mina Kimes got us winning too. She's
Mina Kimes said, y'all go ahead and send that blitz if you want to. Jaden Daniels is not on his first start anymore, and he's gonna eat y'all up if y'all try that this weekend.
Yes, sir.
He's been nasty against the blitz this year. If you get him, you get him. If you don't get him, you in trouble. Marquel Randall, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Marquell writes, is there something about the Cowboys? We always look different when we play them.
Hey, they got us, man.
I already told you that's a conversation for the offseason, but we're gonna have that conversation, bro.
For sure.
It's almost like the Giants. It's almost like the Giants with Tommy DeVito. It's almost that kind of thing, like Matt Castle and Cooper Rush, and it's the NFC East too. But yeah, it's kind of that vibe with like Matt Castle, Terod Taylor for the Giants, Tommy DeVito. But we're starting to get out of that, man, with the Giants. We're starting to conquer the Giants. So team by team, we're getting out of that.
Yeah, and they do that thing where they're stunting Micah Parsons inside. Sometimes pre-snap, he's already lined up inside, and he's just cooking our interior offensive lineman, especially when it was Michael Dieter out there this last game. It's just not much you can really do there. But I feel like, there's a lot of other factors also on top of that. I mean, defensively, I don't know what's going on with the quarterbacks we've gone against.
Yo, is Frankie Louvu healthy, y'all?
What the hell was he doing on that headbutt where he almost gave him his own self a concussion? I was like, Frankie, bro, what are we doing right now?
He has not looked great for about a month now.
I think was it the Eagles game where he went down? Came out for a couple plays.
It was the Eagles game,
or was it the Falcons game?
I think it was the Falcons game, but he did catch a pick early in the Eagles game. But he hasn't looked great for a month of football, because I remember we were like early December, like 100 tackles, 10 sacks, and then we got here, didn't get to 100 tackles or 10. The sacks I'm not tripping about, but he just hasn't looked. He looked a little off the last few weeks. I hope he's healthy.
Yeah, I thought he looked fine. He had a couple tackles for loss on Sunday. I just think when you game plan now, like when you first saw us, you weren't game planning the block 4. Now you're like, hey, it's only 2 dudes we really got to worry about. 54 and 4. They're linebackers. Block them, and we feel like we got a shot. We don't do anything exotic with the blitzes. We literally mug the A-gaps. All right, one of y'all come, both of y'all come, right? We don't do anything really exotic. We don't mug the A-gaps. They drop out. Here come a safety. Enough shit like that. Like it's either they coming or they not. Or either Frankie gonna line up over the tackle and rush, or he not, right? So I don't necessarily disagree that he hasn't been as impactful, but I still think he's flying around. It would be a totally different conversation if he would have caught the 2 picks he had a chance to catch. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. We can't leave those on the field this weekend.
No Carlos Rogers.
Yeah, because had a shot. That pick Benjamin St. Juice dropped week 1. That changed a lot of momentum.
Yeah, it did.
Because he was probably taking that to the crib with his slow ass too.
Somebody would have caught him.
Yeah, somebody.
Somebody would have caught him. It would have been nice.
Us. Yeah, it's us. We would have been on their side of the field, though.
Facts. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William Lee writes, remember when we couldn't score more than 17 points?
Woo!
Wow.
Good times. Not really.
Man, I'm so glad we delivered from that. Wow. I was looking at the averages since 2020. That was the last time we averaged over 20 points, and that was like 20.4. Like, man, we came a long way. We almost averaged a 30 piece this year, man. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Swaggy P writes, Commander Kanks, we breaking streaks all year long. Time to break that playoff winless streak Sunday. Will be a different game with Bucs secondary being injured and us having more acquisitions added to the team since week 1. It's a totally different team, man. Both teams are, at this point. Godwin killed us in the first game.
Oh my God, he was
cooked us on 3rd down. We had no answers for that man. And now he's not there. So that makes a difference. We didn't have Marshawn Lattimore. I don't know if we'll have Marshawn Lattimore. I assume he's going to play, but, what will he be? Will he start and finish the game? Not sure, but we didn't have him the last time. And obviously the offense has evolved tremendously since the last time that they've seen us. So it's a totally different outfit now. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, KJ don't have a route tree. He got a route bush. Really? That's what we doing?
I ain't mad at you, bro. I feel you. Metaphor.
That's what we doing now. We piling on KJ now. That's what
for real, he got a route plant, like a little plant that's in your
the
window.
one the one in the little plastic cup you do in school. You bring
little, it ain't nothing crazy.
The little clear plastic cup. Chris G, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Chris writes, Jim Brown, the only rookie ever to win NFL MVP. JD5 MVP next? Nah. Ed had that, though. Ed had that about 8 games ago. Ed was ready. If I were Vegas, I would have had everybody giving me MVP money on Mahomes, Allen, etc. Then hit them with a curveball and let JD5 win. Early in the season, before that 3-game losing streak, it was starting to build. There was a groundswell for Jaden to be the league MVP. And there's still people that say, hey, he not going to win, but he should be in the conversation.
Just like valuable to his team.
Just like Dan Quinn ain't winning head coach of the year, but he should be in that conversation, right? Who had us at 12 wins before the season?
We added 8 wins this year.
No other team has done that.
Yep.
No other team has done that. So he's not going to win because you're not beating out Kevin O'Connell going 14-3 with Sam Darnold.
7-14 with a journeyman.
Yeah,
but he should still be in the conversation.
Yeah, and Jay's not going to beat out Lamar and Josh Allen right now, but we talked about it a lot. Look at the receiving core, look at the defense, the run defense, and just the injuries we had on the offensive line, the running back crew, the inconsistency from B-Rob and him being out. So I mean, there's just the Hail Mary, the big game, the Bengals game was a statement game.
Make the case, Ed.
I mean, yeah,
make the case, Ed.
Oh man, I could be like Rio's toting the rock right now. He's ready to play.
Somebody got to for this team. Damn it!
I mean, if Jaden had Bo Nix's offensive line and defense, this would be a completely different conversation, man.
It's just another receiver.
I mean, if he had their receivers too.
If he had people that actually made things happen with the ball in their hand, because every time I turn on Broncos football, someone's streaking down the field.
He just need a Marvin Mims. He just need one of them, right?
He's
getting one of them.
Yak Demon
down conversion rate, 4th and 11, 4th and 14. He's making it happen. So, I mean, there's so many ways you can look at it.
Man, I look on these wide receiver screens. Our line be blocking their ass off, and it'd be these wide ass guys be like, yo, this look like it could go, and then our dudes just be effing it up, run into their own blocker, indecisive, like. If we had a dude that had a little something, man, some of these joints would have popped, I swear.
It's coming. It's coming.
Lucky Chuck, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Lucky Chuck writes, what up, 4 Kings? What's going on, Lucky Chuck? Love the show. Keep it up. How we going to Tampa Bay? We going deep? We rolling with a deep crew. And we coming out with a dub.
Business trip, baby. We're going to win. And in case you haven't got that yet, I know how I'm feeling. We're winning on Sunday. Are we all in agreement there?
Well,
yes.
I'm about to say, don't leave me hanging out here.
No, yes. I was reading this super chat from my boy. I didn't know he had super chat. Boss Hog Pot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy writes, I enjoyed the stream and listening to you guys. However, I pity the fool. This reminds me of the last great hope y'all had in Washington. And 10 minutes after he was drafted, the hog farmers were eating his ACL. # go Bucs.
Hey, man, you keep fighting the good fight as the only Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan in the world, man. Shout out to
you. King of the Bluegrass. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Mikey made 15 come up missing in the national camp game. Get the milk carton ready. Well, I hope that happens. Yeah, I hope that happens again because he's going to see a ton of Jalen McMillan in this game. And hopefully Marshawn Lattimore takes care of 13 on the other side. So if we can make Baker hold on to it, that's when Baker makes mistakes. When Baker is able to hit his back foot and cut it loose, you're in trouble. Is when he's got to double clutch it and hold on to it and try to extend, and then he feels a little bit of pressure and he forces it. That's when you can get him to throw it over somebody's head or get it batted. You know what I need? I need a batted ball this week. He's a short quarterback. Somebody get their hand up, bat something, because we can't catch something thrown straight to us.
And someone get under it once it's batted up.
Right. We need a batted ball, man. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Captain Obvious writes, look for a big game from Terry. The team wants to get him a gold jacket. Well, these are the moments where you start to create that kind of resume in the postseason. So he's got the regular season thing going with the consistency piece.
Yep.
But here's an opportunity. Do anybody remember what he did in his one and only playoff game against the Tampa Bay Bucs?
He had a solid game. Heineke, he was throwing that joint. I'll give Heineke credit.
He was throwing that joint to Cam. He was letting that thing fly.
Yeah, he was throwing it to Cam Sims a lot. I remember Cam Sims had a chance to make a big play on the first possession.
Huge play. The first, oh my God.
First possession, and he dropped
like
that
a deep
joint.
post or something. Yeah, I remember that.
Right over the middle of the field.
Even Sims or something. That was one of them. But no,
Chris
Terry had a
Hunter.
good game.
He did? You remember his numbers?
Yeah, that's all game. I'm about to look it up.
Okay. We'll keep it pushing, and you get chime in when you get it. Chris Hunter, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, payback music, fabulous in rotation all week.
I like it.
All right. I'm with it. I'm with it.
We're looking for revenge this week.
Yeah. We out for revenge.
What I will say, too, when we beat Tom Brady, because the Buccaneers, they do have some of the same secondary guys that they have. Not a lot, but that was the game where Terry was like doing all this, and we beat Tom Brady.
That's when they lit him up. They should have got that
sportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah,
unnecessary
roughness for defensive receiver. They lit him up over the middle.
That was one of them.
That's
we
when
needed
it. I was like, that's when we like, yo, he liked that. Because he got up doing all that. I was like, Joe, you good? They just tried to take your damn head off, and we ain't getting no flag, bro.
Yeah, so Terry had 6 catches for 75 yards. Cam Sims had 100. He had 100, 7 catches for 104 yards.
Bro, he threw it to Cam Sims like 12 times that game.
Yeah, he was
because he left like a 50-yard touchdown on the field the first drive.
Yeah. He was forcing it to Cam Sims. Okay, Terry had a really good game, so we need to beat that. We need to beat that. Darnell Kelly, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Darnell writes, "Sup, y'all? Felt good leaving Jerry's world with a dub, indeed. I think the playoffs is in bracket format now, not seeding. If Green Bay wins, we will host them when we win. DQ said the 6 got a chance for another home game. So, nah, Darnell, it ain't in bracket format. It's literally the number 1 seed gets the lowest seeded team left in the playoffs. Like that's not going to change. So if the Packers win, they go to Detroit. If the Packers lose and we win, we go to Detroit. It's always been that way. It's going to always be that way. They always going to make sure that they take care of the highest seeded team. They're always going to play the lowest seeded team left in the playoffs. So the only reason DQ said we could get a home playoff game is because we're the 6th seed. So the scenario that I threw out earlier where the Packers beat the Eagles and then beat the Lions, we beat the Bucs and then beat the winner of the 4-5 matchup between the Rams and the Vikings, then we would get a home playoff game because it would be the 6th seed versus the 7th seed.
Yeah, we would host the Packers at that point, but that's a lot of stuff to happen.
You're asking for way too much stuff to take place for that to happen. But
never know.
Yeah. Look, I just want to beat the Bucs right now. You know, we to have that conversation down the road. Tony, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling it up. Who writes, Mike Williams has a tendency to push off like A.J. Brown. Hope the refs let Lattimore play and be fair. I mean, Mike Evans is who is he referring to. He does push off quite a bit, but they let him get away with it. So you got to be physical. And like you said, I hope the refs just let them play. Because clearly they didn't let them play. But this is a playoff, so you get all-star crews now, right? It's not just whole crews anymore. They take the best of the best who graded out the best during the regular season, and they put them and they mash them together. I like the head official that we got. He doesn't usually impart himself into the game. So hopefully it'll be a relatively clean game. But again, we'll see.
Definitely don't want a Hockley. Don't want.
Yeah, hell no. He loves the mic time, boy. He loves to get on.
25 away from Mike Evans.
Facts. We don't need to see that on replay. We've seen that once already. We don't need to watch that again.
Don't put Michael Davis on the field.
Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky writes, 1, Revo proven innocent. Black men don't cheat.
Hey, that's right. That's right, damn it.
2, should we go after Reek if reasonable? And 3, is it wrong to say B-Rob is Robert Kelly with a good story?
Oh my God, don't do that to B-Rob.
Nah, come on.
We're calling him Brian, but we're not
gonna do that, right?
We're not putting that on his jacket at all.
I was thinking Peyton Barber for a second. The way he's been playing.
Jeez, man, this man went R. Kelly on us, man. Stop it, Rocky D.
Peyton Barber, that's a good call. It's very Peyton Barber-esque lately.
Peyton Barber.
Yeah, y'all doing B-Rob dirty. Brian Robinson Jr. dirty.
Brian Robinson Jr. That we're gonna give him the full name treatment, but we're not throwing R. Kelly on his jacket. But should we go after Reek if reasonable? Reek ain't going nowhere, man. He just getting his feelings out, you know.
Yeah, I agree. He ain't going nowhere.
There's a receiver in New York that I would make a call for, but we can talk about that later.
Hey, Rio been on that one heavy.
I'm watching that situation with a magnifying glass, like
you're watching that joke.
Boy,
Rio been talking about that for like 2 months.
Day hit that button and it says Garrett Wilson has requested a trade from the Jets. I'm gonna be the first person on these interviews. Like, yes, it's time.
Gearcell 1, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gearcell 1, double up, rights. Rico, ATL emergency. Just saw Trey Young and Cousins at Zaxby's wearing matching Daisy Duke shorts with a gravy chicken sandwich. HTTR.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't even.
Hey,
that's what they do in Atlanta.
Yeah, you know it's a little different down that way, man. So you
I
never
hope
know.
not, man.
That's how they pulling up the Zaxby's.
Dejan Bell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Ed might swerve in that corner. Whoa.
Yellow Bowl.
Hey, this is what I need. That's the type of timing I need us on Sunday. We're going to win the game, and somebody throw that jello on. We're going to be in the locker room. We're going to swerve, hit that corner. Whoa. Imagine Dan Quinn rocking in the middle of that.
Yo, that's wild, bro. That is going to be wild. What's going on, fellas? Huge game for J.A. and D-Payne. We need them to please for that Bama wall for Buck. Yeah. Look, I think when it's all said and done, we need the front collectively as a unit to play well. And, you know, we put a lot of emphasis on those guys because they get paid a lot of money, but we need everybody to step up. It would be nice if they stepped up. Like Allen had the nerve to rock the baby. I'm like, bro, that wasn't even you didn't even win. Like that was like a 6
That was a cover sack. Yeah.
Right. Like you ain't even do nothing. He over here rocking the baby.
I'm mad that he got a sack. Like I'm sitting here like, really?
Validated
his habits.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
I'll take it.
I was like, bro, stop it. But like, I want everybody to play well up front because it's going to take a collective effort to stop the Bucs from running the football effectively. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, PSI, forgive Pigeon fans in the chat. They still suffering from symptoms of Jalen Squirt's concussion. 4 going to look much greater than 1 come February 9. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
We will see.
I like it.
One at a time.
I like what you're cooking now.
Yeah. Are we picking up what you're putting down? But DC Community Carrot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, tell Rio keep the Xmas tree up for our good luck charm.
I got you.
I need to take mine down while you bullshit.
I'm leaving that hoe up until our season's over, man. When our season ends, I'm packing her up.
Yeah.
Packing her up, man.
Boss Hog Pot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, Bowles will not be a blitz monger as expected. He is confident that his front 4 pressure, they are healthy and they have been balling. We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't expect him to be as aggressive as the first meeting because clearly he has enough tape now to see that it might not be, like nobody just blitzes Lamar Jackson. That's not smart. Because if you don't get there and he gets a seam, God bless and good night. So
Right.
I think he's gonna pick his spots where he tries to bring pressure, but it won't be the cover zero we come accustomed to seeing Todd Bowles or these exotic looks where he overloads the side and drops out a guy on the other side, and Vita Vea's over here looking like Michael Pierce picking off a pass of some 370-pound pick. I'm like, how the hell he catch the bitch and Frankie Louvu can't catch the shit?
Right.
Crazy.
Tread lightly with the blitzes, though, man, because we got a killer back there, quarterback, man.
Facts. Big facts. DC Community Carrot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Louvu finna turn up for getting the most stats on D? Question mark.
I need him to.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
This is one of them type games, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of them type of games where we need him to turn up. Him and Bobby turn up. King of the Bluegrass, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. King of the Bluegrass writes, yo, Rico, what's going to be the better pro, Walker or Williams from them Bulldogs?
I got Williams. Walker, I mean, maybe you can make the argument a higher ceiling. I got Williams definitely the higher floor. I compare him to a healthy Jadeveon Clowney and what everybody expected him to be. Elite run stopper with some pass rush potential. So me personally, I like Williams more at Georgia.
Gotcha. Boss Hog Pot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, teams are evenly matched and this game will be decided by the takeaways. Hashtag go Bucks. You're not wrong. We've been really good at protecting the ball until here of late.
Mm-hmm.
If we could take care of the football, I like our chances. I don't think we forced any turnovers the first time we played y'all, but I don't think we turned it over either in that game, if I'm not mistaken. So I think what it's really going to boil down to is, can we get a few stops? Can we get a few stops? Can we win on third downs? The Bucs, as Rio said, they're the best third down offense in football.
All of the league. Yeah.
And we struggle at times getting off the field on third downs. So it was nauseating on third downs against the Cowboys this past week. I know that's not the best game to use as a barometer, but it didn't matter if it was 3rd and 13 or if it was 3rd and 3. They would convert. So
yeah.
Hopefully
if I'm the Bucs, I'm throwing it to Benjamin St. Juice. Anytime he's on the field, if he is, even if he's only playing 3 to 5 snaps, if he's on the field on third down, I don't care who he's covering, I'm throwing it his way.
Bro, if he's on the sideline, I'm throwing it at him. He's still getting the flag.
There's got to be coaches that see it too. When 25 is on the field, underthrow the ball to a receiver, you're going to get the flag every single time.
Bro, if he's that thick white stripe that you're supposed to be behind, if he's even remotely close to that, I'm just going to throw it in his area. The official going to throw the flag.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime this man steps in between the white lines,
yep.
I would target him. I don't care who, it is. Sterling Shepard could be out there getting covered by him. I'm throwing the rock to Benjamin St. Juice.
Gotta keep him off the field. Mike Davis, limited snaps. Both those guys are very limited snaps.
Man, they put Mike Davis under the bench after the Falcons game.
I ain't gonna hold you. Mike Davis don't need to make the flight, bro. He's bad vibes, bro.
Hey, they put that man under the bench after that game. I was like, damn. Benjamin St. Juice played 74 snaps on Sunday. I said, God damn. Of 82 snaps, he played 74 snaps, bro.
Can't win with him.
They said, not today. You will not. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair? Woo! Woo! If you think we will win this game, we will win the time of possession and turnover battles, question mark. Hope Louvu catches one this time.
Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed.
When we are at our best, we convert on third downs, which extends drives, which wins us time of possession. That's another key. It'd be nice to keep the defense off the field. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice to keep them off the field in this game. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Rio and I buying a whole Wawa if we go to the Super Bowl.
Hey, bro, just, you know what I'm saying? Front the bread, I'll co-sign. Let's get it, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William Lee, double up, who writes, bro, we ain't had a running back with a jump cut since Peterson. And we had end of the road Adrian Peterson.
He was still snapping.
Yeah, he was. He says, I was in awe the real B-Rob in Atlanta. Yeah, he got off on us.
Yeah. Bryce Love was supposed to be that. It just never,
I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you just said that name. Did this man just say Bryce Love on the Commanders King stream?
He's probably like a neurosurgeon or something right now.
Yeah, he is. He was supposed to be a doctor. He's trying to
Rico, have you lost your mind? Did you just say Bryce Love?
That's bad vibe. I'm gonna knock on wood because that's bad vibes for this week. I don't even know where that came from.
I'm gonna get a little piece of that wood.
Pause. They gave him 3 years.
That was crazy, Lou. That was crazy.
Let me pause right there.
It wasn't me.
That's why we need to record. That's why we need to record instead of live.
This man Lou invited himself to some wood.
Hey, let me get a hard pause on that one, man. I've been known to say some really outlandish shit and not say pause. I caught myself immediately with that.
Let me get a little piece of the wood. This man wanted rationed out wood. That's crazy.
I apologize for throwing that oop, Blue. I ain't gonna lie. That's on me.
You see what you did? Yeah, that's
on
definitely on you. I'm definitely blaming you for that.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you this time. It wasn't you this time.
Come a long way.
Oh man,
that's why we're 12-5. That's why we're 12-5.
Yeah.
Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Rocky D writes, Jalen Hurts not looking too promising with that concussion. Even if he does play, that Russ go.
That's crazy. He about to go platinum.
Hey, go ahead. Green Bay should take advantage. Man, like if he wasn't Jello, this would be like plant status. How this jank is just like they taking this joint
injury plant like for real.
Like, bro, it's crazy how this joint taking off and everybody banging this joint. NBA.
He said
they pressed the button on this.
We gotta get the third ball brother good at something. Let's give him a banger from 2002 and wait till they drop the remix with Boosie and them. It's gonna go stupid.
Yo, that's wild that he said, "Hey, send me the verse." That's crazy.
Yeah, it's about to go up.
All talk all the time. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Dub stat won every game but one when Scary Terry gets 6 receptions.
Good stat. I like it.
Well, you already know it is. Ed told us 6 for 75 last time. Let's make it happen, man. Let's go 8 for a ball 25 this time.
It's the playoffs, bro. Even if we go out, we better go out swinging, targeting the hell out of our best and only receiver weapon, bro.
Yeah, I love it. I love that mindset.
Boom to that right side and get him the football.
Mm-hmm.
Boss Hog Pie. I knew you was gonna jump all over that. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right, Louie Tee asked for the tip. I knew you was gonna do it. You couldn't help yourself.
Somebody got to clip that one up. That was legendary.
Man, I ain't gonna hear the end of that one, bro. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. This is your fault. It's your fault, Rico. You did this. He says, Lou up in that joint like Diddy on Drink Champs. When we gonna party? No Diddy, man. No Diddy, bro. No Diddy. All right. No Diddy, man. Jason Rogers, thank you for the super chat.
It was the way he requested it. It was crazy.
No, just anything.
Too much anticipation.
When Chris Rock say, "Can you put something in my hand?"
Inviting yourself to the wood is crazy.
Yo. Uncle James says, "Piece of that wood." Hey, yo. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh no!" Like the dude for the presidential election, where I always say that, where he's like, "Oh no, oh no." When he was like, he said, "We have a new candidate. These nuts."
Oh yeah, that's he walked right into it, and then he realized what he's
like. Oh no. Oh no! I knew immediately. I was like, "Yeah, that's not gonna end well." Yeah. Boss Hog Pot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Rice. This gonna get ugly. LOL. Yeah, I'm never gonna hit the end of that now. He just so happened to be here watching when that happened. Shadow Striker 789, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, never thought too much of the tenderized that Philly meat, but I don't know if that joint can slide, Lou. Bro, just DoorDash some.
He got that shit on rush delivery. Amazon Prime
yo, I think that might be worse than tenderized that Philly meat real good. I think that might be worse. I don't know. That one was pretty bad.
Oh
but
my god.
Yeah, no, it's right up there with that one, bro. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly.
Not the Denzel shit. I'm from round the way.
Rocky D said, Lou said he leaving here with something.
Oh my god.
I can't with y'all, man.
Damn, life is swell right now, bro. When have we ever got to act up like this the week of a playoff game that we're actually playing in? Life is swell right now.
Could you imagine if we win? What it's gonna be like next?
Oh God. People don't want to talk to us divisional round week. They don't want to see that.
Nah. It's gonna get way.
Don't let us win in Philly, not be in the second round. Well, Lord, they better hide them. They better go away.
Bobby Giles, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. He ain't even had no words for me. He just like, bro.
What's that?
Yeah, that's it.
You said it all.
He said for your troubles.
Hey, Dawes Hog Pot, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Yeah, that's a classic one. Tenderize that bitch out. Hey, people be sleeping on bait, man. People be sleeping on bait. Yeah. Anyway, I digress, man. Any last words, fellas, before we get out of here? What is your predictions for the game before we get out of here?
Who's jumping out there first?
Ed, I'm gonna put this one on Ed.
Let's go, Ed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, as well. So my channel's on lockdown. I'm locked up. They won't let me out, guys. Just giving a public service announcement, some guidelines and stuff like that with YouTube. YouTube's always trying to get somebody, when they're on the come up and stuff like that. There's other things, other factors I won't get into, but definitely check out these guys' channels. I will be posting on here like it's my own channel, of course.
Go crazy with it.
So I'll be doing my recap on here. So I gotta do a bid for a week for YouTube, and I'll be out. The Demon will be home on Tuesday.
That's
hopefully,
right.
My boy got to sit down for a week. My boy up the road. My boy up
That's
the
right.
road.
So yeah, free me from the
free Ed Oliver, man. Free Ed.
Hashtag free Ed Oliver, the real one.
Yeah,
the real one. Ed till it's backwards, man. Free Ed till it's Ed free, man.
Free big Ed, the big one, not the little one.
Yeah, Ed free. I love it.
Yeah, I was just too flat out here, but free me from RICO'S, man. But the prediction, I actually think it's gonna be a little bit low scoring than what everybody has. A lot of people have 30-27, 35-20. I can see that too. I could see a shootout. I really could see a shootout. I could see a game where they just can't stop Jaden and we struggle to stop Jalen McMillan or Bucky, and it's a shootout type of game, like the Eagles game 33-28, something like that. The Bengals game 38-33. I can see something like that, but I kind of have a weird feeling it's going to be like 23-17. Marshawn versus Mike is going to be electric. We just have to see how the refs call that game. If they're real ticky-tacky like the Eagles game, it could be a challenging game for us, but I think that's going to be a huge part of it, clearly slowing down Bucky. Terry's got to get involved, and Jaden's got to put the cape on again, man. It is what it is. He's just got to put the cape on. Fourth down is going to be so huge, man. I think we're going to have to convert on 3 to 4 downs. That's my biggest thing. Don't forget about Zane Gonzalez. He's going to be huge in it too. I hate to rely on a kicker, but he's going to be huge. It's going to come down to like a 48-yard field goal or something like that. He's going to have to knock it down. But yeah, I got us getting a dub. 23-17. Jaden Houdini pulls one out of a hat. And I think it's going to have to come down to the defense getting a stop. It's going to be 23-17. They're going to be driving down the field. Baker's going to make some plays. and they're gonna have the ball at like the 15-yard line with 10 seconds left. They're gonna throw it up to Mike Evans, and Marshawn makes a big play. That's the way I have the game ending.
If that's how it's gonna go down, we lose.
Oh man,
we ain't got a defensive stop to win a game yet.
I think Marshawn gets it done. He shows why we gave up the third round pick.
I think we're gonna
business with Marshawn.
I think we're gonna touch the ball last in this one, fellas. I'm taking us 27-24. So 24-20 is gonna be the score when Jaden Daniels gets the ball in a 2 to 3 to 4 minute drill for Washington season on the line. And what have we seen every time this brother's been put in that position this year? We would have seen another one if Zach Ertz didn't kneel before the first down line like Colin Kaepernick. And we would have seen another if Austin Seibert didn't shank a field goal versus Dallas. Every time this brother's put in a position to go win the ball game, down 24-20, he's taking us down the field and throwing a game-winning touchdown to Terry McLaurin. 27-24, both offenses, there's going to be yards galore on both sides, and it's going to be a matter of who touches the ball last. Jaden's going to get it. We're marching to the divisional round. I don't care who we got next. We're winning this weekend. 19-year streak over.
Rico.
Yeah. I see it similar to Rio where, like, I mean, if our defense is on the field last, loss. If our offense is on the field last, win. W. I'm seeing it maybe something like 21-21, and then we go down and get like a game-winning field goal. Because I don't think we're going to kick a lot of field goals because I think we're going to go in with somewhat of like a, house money mentality. I mean, just like Dallas went for so many fourth downs against us unnecessarily, just because they kind of went in, a little loose. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go in. Don't be too loose, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go for a lot of fourth downs rather than kicking some like 48-yard field goals with Zay Gonzalez, some short, some low 50s. I see us going for a lot of those fourth downs and trying to go all the way down the field and scoring some touchdowns. So I'm predicting a pretty touchdown-heavy game. And I think, like Rio, we have the ball last, we win. I trust Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, and this offensive side of the ball so much. But if we're on the defense, if our defense is on the field last and we need them to get a stop, I'm very, very nervous.
As you should be. I too have us winning in a close game, and I do think it's going to come down to the final possession. We will be trailing the game 27-26. We will be up 26-20. Defense does what they do best late in games, gives it up.
Yep.
They scored a touchdown, take the lead 27-26 with about 2:36 to go in the game. Jaden then takes us down the field. And, I hate relying on a kicker and Zane Gonzalez, but Jaden gets us close enough to where you're like, hey, he ain't going to mess this one up. And we win the game on a walk-off field goal, 29-27 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So,
29 is such a random-ass number, too.
It's one of them crazy playoff numbers where you're like, hey, how the hell you get to 29? Don't ask me. Shit happens. So, got a few supers to take us home. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, Josh gonna have to sell the Sixers if we win and the Eagles are out. They keep trying to tell us how bad of an owner we got. Like, I think he's pretty cool, actually.
No,
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you.
Oh no.
Oh man.
You kick a brother while he's down, man.
Hold up. We gotta hit him with the Nate dog. Hold up. Wait. Hey, you can't come after the dad cap, man.
Great, man. Hey, dad cap is the best hats, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, you who made you sit for the dad cap is crazy, man.
Hey, that's wild, man. Y'all chill out. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Big Money Sonny writes, let me get this whole I got 5 on it, Lou. I got one for you. I got 5 on it. We know what it is. And as long as we got 5, we got a chance.
Yep.
Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joe writes, desperately changing the subject. Peace, Kings and Vagabonds. It's a week-to-week league, and our team does the Game of Thrones episode endings breathe every time. Every time. We don't never get a break.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to win an award for most stressful endings to every game.
And we're going to have another one in this playoff game, more likely than not. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we win in a convincing thrashing of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but none of us feel that's going to be the case, right?
Nope.
Ed O'Neill, my guy, Eddie O. It's been a while, man. Good to see you. He writes, Lions Commanders round 2, we will be there. I'm looking forward to it. Like, sign me up. That means that the Eagles have advanced. I'd actually like to see the Packers take them out, but I'm not holding my breath. And that Christian Watson injury,
that sucks.
Pretty significant. Yeah, that's pretty significant there. That hurts. Kevin the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kevin the PRF writes, how to get to 29? 2 missed extra points? Not necessarily, right? I mean, so 29, you can get there with 3 touchdowns. You go for a 2-point conversion. You don't get it. And you kick 3 field goals. That's 29, right?
Sounds good to me.
You miss an extra point, and you get 3 field goals. It's a lot of ways you can get to 29, but I don't ever, when I come up with these scores, I don't ever come up with the way we get there, because NFL games are weird. You know, we just gonna get there. But I just want to win. I just want to have 1 more point than them at the end of the game. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I care about. Whoa, Tony!
Hey, let's go!
Hey, Tony!
Let's get it, man.
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the blessing, Tony. It's the second time you blessed us tonight, man. We really do appreciate you, Tony. Tony has done it again.
Let's go.
Thanks for everything this year, guys. Out. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything, Tony. We really, truly do appreciate
you, man. Let's go.
And hopefully we'll be able to come back again next week and do it again.
He said Abdullah who?
Yeah. Shout out to Abdullah. Shout out to Abdullah.
Shout out to my boy Abdullah. I hope he's good, man.
Hey, all love, peace and blessings to all of y'all out there, man. Really appreciate you, Tony, Abdullah, and everyone else. Optimal focus. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Kings, I have a question. 1, why did we pick up Osborne from the Patriots? I feel like Odell Beckham Jr. could have at least taken that spot and contributed a little bit. Could I be missing something in my head? Odell wouldn't have been cool sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he also still on the streets right now.
Facts. I mean, y'all look, a lot of people, when I said I would have at least brought him in for a workout, they said he's washed. And, you know, when they did have KJ up, he blocked. He might have got a holding penalty, but he blocks. Right? Odell ain't out there. If you ain't feeding him, he ain't trying to block.
Nope.
So I think it was more about who's a good fit for the culture of the locker room. That's what they were looking for. So I don't disagree. I mean, but Odell's probably washed at this point.
The league has spoken, because it is now January the 7th, and he ain't been brought in yet by anybody. And
it's not going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah, his mouthpiece, Josiana Anderson, she was like, it's probably going to be next year. That's what she's cooked. She always
Even Zeke got on a playoff roster before Odell. That should tell you that boy is rinsed, washed, tumbled, and dry. Like I told y'all on my channel. Rio OBJ still got he doesn't. I love OBJ. He's one of my favorite receivers ever. He's cooked, man.
Yeah, I think it might be over.
Yeah,
I think it might
probably be on, Fox Sports soon. And I was going to say a Joy Taylor joke, but I'll leave that alone. But he'll probably be doing a podcast soon or something like that.
Fox Sports 1, the freaky network.
Hey. Yeah. Oh, is that a thing? But yeah, I saw that. I think we all saw that Cowboys denied access to Mike McCarthy.
They're holding him hostage for ransom in Texas right now.
I love it.
That's what we love to hear. That's the best news today.
Absolutely. we won by just enough to make them feel good about him coming back. Look, to think we were the ones that kicked off their little win streak that saved his job. So we still out here doing good in the community, man. Anyway,
and they beat the Bucs too. The Cowboys beat the Bucs, so that's a game to look at too. Jalen McMillan had a big drop in that game, and I forgot what happened in that game. But yeah, I remember Jalen McMillan had a big drop. They lost to the Cowboys. So the Bucs they've had some weird losses. They had some big wins, but of course all that's thrown out the window right now.
Right, and even some of their wins, you look and you be like, that Raiders game, they was really nasty in that game.
Oh, they're sleepwalking right now. They're limping after the Saints game. They really should have lost to the Saints. They had to scratch and fight and win that game last week.
We could say the same thing.
It was everybody. It was Chicago, Green Bay, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, us. It was looking ugly for everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, such is life. We are about to exit stage left. We can't thank you guys enough for the support. We've been over 900 steady tonight, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe for more great content, turn on that notification bell so y'all don't miss a thing. We had a crazy little run here at the end.
Good times, man. Good times.
We appreciate each and every single one of y'all, and we hope we're coming back and talking about another win and keeping this party going. I don't want this season to end, and I don't think any of you want it to end either. So hopefully we get it done, come back here next week, and we're celebrating a win and talking about divisional round football and not celebrating a season.
We gonna be in here talking crazy if that's the case.
Oh, bro. You already know what it is. Jaden gets his first playoff victory, and now we talking about going to the Super Bowl, man. So let's get them one at a time. But hey, for all of the Kings, y'all know what it is. If you're coming at these Kings, you best not miss. Until next time, y'all have a good one. God bless. Good night.
Business trip, baby. It's time to swerve, hit that corner. Whoa. One last time for the road.